In this one, we are joined by VJ Husky. It's going to be a good show. We have a lot to talk about. Um, we have NFL Week 17 look aheads. We have a hot take on the Lakers that VJ has. We're going to talk Baker Mayfield, remembering John Madden, and much more. This is going to be a fun show. Make sure you do everything to the podcast, like, subscribe, download, follow, share with your friends, and follow me on social media. Without further ado, let's enjoy the show. Oh yeah, too. Sorry if the echo is a little wild because I'm still on vacation. Let's just say the snow delayed the trip home. If you guys are on the West Coast, you all know it is a snow. Like I live in Washington, obviously, and where I am, like vacation where I am now, it's fine, but Washington, pretty bad. And you know Washington snow. So I'm recording in the garage right now. The echo sounded a little off. My bad. I will get back to normal next week. Just enjoy this hot sports topic conversation with the great VJ Vanilla Husky. Welcome in, everybody, to another piping hot episode of Blindside Sports. This is episode number 18. I'm Emmett Douglas. And I hope you had a good holiday, man. Hope you all got to watch some football and, most importantly, spend time with the family. And we have a special guest today. Let's welcome in my partner for today, my co-host, my guest, and my debate partner, VJ Vanilla Husky. He's the Jamal Crawford of Fox Sports Radio. You know, whenever he gets, he's on the bench, and whenever they call him, he does great. And he also hosts the the VJ's Unsportsmanlike podcast. Go check that one out. It's a fun listen. What's up, VJ?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? It's actually, I loved it. First of all, thank you for the intro. That's one of the best intros I've ever been given. I'm known for giving out dope intros myself because I always want my guests and my fans to know who I bring on my show. You know, ain't no Johnny come lately type guy. Ain't no burgers and fries. This is steak and lobster over here. So I appreciate that, man. But no, great, man. And yeah, I like the big. I'm the big vanilla funny. I'm 6'3", 280. So I'm a thick, big guy, man. I'm the big. Everything is vanilla. I'm the big vanilla everything. I'm seasoning salt. I call myself the big vanilla seasoning salt because all you need to do is sprinkle a little bit of me on it, and you don't need nothing else. We ready to go.
There you go. This is going to be a good show. We have a bunch to talk about today, VJ. As me and VJ, this is a different interview because usually I'll get, like kind of your story in the media. But VJ gave me the opportunity. Hey, man, I want to co-host this with you. Give me all the topics. And I'm like, I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Because it's just a classic sports debate. I'm sure we're going to get off topic. Some personal stuff is going to come up. That's just the fun of it. We have a bunch to get to today. Follow VJ on Twitter at VESN Sports. You can get him on Instagram at VJ or what's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, right?
Instagram is the Big Vanilla Funny, and it's VESN Sports on YouTube, Spreaker, Unsportsmanlike Conduct on iHeartRadio, and you can find me VJ Vernon Husky on LinkedIn.
Yes, sir. Does a great job with his work and always brings entertainment to whatever show he's on. Now, I want to start the show. Now, I was telling VJ in the, kind of pre-show meeting that he made me do an audible. I was originally going to start out with some, maybe NFL John Madden, but he had a take on Twitter last night that it's about the LA Lakers and it's about LeBron James. And basically what this guy's saying is LeBron James needs to get traded. VJ, lay it out for us.
Yes, he does need to be traded. I'm so sick of this guy, man. And everybody that knows me knows that I'm not a LeBron James fan. But you know what's so great about sports talk? I don't have to be a LeBron James fan. Just like everybody doesn't like Brady. Everybody didn't like Manning, Jordan, Kobe, Tiger, Serena, Nadal, Federer, Jeff Gordon. You name the greats. Everybody doesn't have to like everybody. Same with movies and actors and actresses and musicians. I'm not a fan. I'm a Kobe guy. I didn't even like Jordan because I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. We're horrible, 5-28. I know. I don't need to hear from anybody, but we're rebuilding. But it's just the manipulation. Yeah, the manipulation that he continues to do to you guys. You guys, I'm not even mad at LeBron. He's super smart. Y'all are the fools. You guys are the fools. You the guys that keep falling for this. He puts this team together, and this started 3 years ago. It's nothing recent, guys. They've gutted the draft picks. They've gutted the money. Him and AD took max extensions last year. There's no money. Melo, 1-year deal. Rondo, 1-year deal. Wayne Ellington, Tar Heel, shout out, 1-year deal. DeAndre Jordan, 1-year deal. Dwight Howard, They're all gone next year, guys. Are you even going to be able to put a team on the court next season with him and AD? And then you have Russ with all the money left on his deal. I just think everybody wants to trade all these other guys. And right now, listen, Shaq got traded. Montana got traded. Tom Brady was told bye-bye. Like, there's great ones. Even Emmitt Smith was told bye-bye. The all-time leading rusher in NBA history, Karl Malone, was once told bye-bye. It's time for everybody to wake up and understand that you can manipulate the game today and play zero defense, which he does, go stand on the low block, let guys lay up right in front of him, let guys blow right by him. You can score in today's league, guys. Like, come on, Bradley Beal averaged 33 and a half last year. Stop it, okay? You can get buckets in today's league. You can't touch anybody. You can't really guard anybody. No one boxes out. Van Gundy talks about it all the time. When him, Breen, and Mark Jackson, a.k.a. the back down point guard god of all time, they talk about it all the time when they're broadcasting games. Guys don't box out. So you can go grab 8 boards, 7 boards, 9 boards. It's easy. You can go get buckets easily in the league today. He scores on offense because it makes people go, well, LeBron's doing his job. LeBron's doing everything he can. Look, he's got the 8 rebounds. He's got the 11 assists. LeBron's doing everything he can. And he's pretty much doing it for himself so that we can get on TV the next day and go trade Russ, fire Vogel, trade Thorne Tucker, and get rid of Rondo, get rid of this guy. You notice too, sidebar, Emmett, you notice how it's been real quiet about Carmelo? Carmelo's shooting 2 for 11, 2 for 9, 1 for 8. Then he'll have 25 points. Then he'll go 7 points, 11 points, 12 points.
It's like a bipolar NBA player.
Exactly. But he's LeBron's homeboy. So it's kind of an unwritten rule with the media. You got to leave his guys alone. You're not allowed to bring up his guys. But yeah, we can throw all these other guys under the bus. If the Lakers are smart, you trade LeBron right now. You have to move this guy right now, or he is going to decimate your. If it was not for the luck of the East being low and maybe some good draft picks and picks up, Cleveland would still be in the dumpster. If the Miami Heat didn't have Pat Riley and their exposure running the show there, the Heat would be in the dumpster right now because he tried to leave them out the back door and leave them stuck because he couldn't basically took his ball and went home because Pat Riley said, I'm not firing Spoelstra. You can't have your way here. We love you. We're 2-2 in the finals here. We got 2 championships. We lost twice, but you can't have your way here. We're not firing Spoelstra. We're not giving you the franchise. Took his ball and went home to Cleveland. Same thing happened in Cleveland. Same thing's happening here in LA. And also, last point, can we get rid of this false BS narrative that he makes players better? That has been the fakest false narrative of his career from the sports media since he came into the league. Gets Kevin Love goes down. Gets Bosh goes down. Dwayne Wade is an afterthought in the NBA now. Think about it. When do you see people talk great about Dwayne Wade anymore? Playing with LeBron does that. Kyrie Irving, guys, tried to tell us all. He tried to warn us when LeBron told the press that he was a father figure. And remember the reporter asked Kyrie that? Kyrie's face like, hold on, what? No. No, I have a father. His name is, such and such Irving. I have a father. But that's the narcissisticness of LeBron to tell the press, yeah, I'm like a father figure to these guys. Kyrie was like, bro, hold up. You're not my dad, okay? But that's him. That's his personality. That's what he does to people. He shrinks them, but he shrinks them because he has to be the story. And last point, when they won the championship in the Mickey Mouse AAU Bubblegum AAU tournament down in Orlando, Anthony Davis finally has his moment, finally gets a chance to talk to Rachel Nichols and have his post-game interview after they win the championship. Who comes dancing into the picture, in and out, holding the MVP and the championship trophy? Dancing in, dancing out, dancing in, dancing out. Go back and watch that clip, Emmett. Look at AD's face. I went on my show the next day. I said, that guy will never be the same in a Laker uniform again because that's what Bron does. He's got to shrink you to make himself bigger. He is killing this franchise. AD don't want to be there no more. Russ is probably one out. And this is his hometown. I live in LA. This is Brody's hometown. And everybody wants him out. If you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you got to trade LeBron. You got to trade LeBron now.
All right, look. Now, you got me thinking with this whole LeBron thing where you talking, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Love, after topics of the NBA, and you're right on that. First of all, you're right. Like LeBron plays no defense. Like, and if you're calling him like the best player on the floor, why wasn't he guarding Ja Morant last night? Ja Morant torched the Lakers.
Thank you.
My second point is this. The Lakers are not trading LeBron. There's no shot. I'm sorry. I get it, but they're not going to do that because they are, convinced that LeBron James is that guy. And also what the Lakers struggles is, like you said, the money situation and the no draft pick situation. I was on a Twitter debate with Robert Guerra, the Odd Couple producer, and I was just throwing out names of people to, maybe trade for. And obviously, THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, is going to be in that trade. And a lot of players, like, you have to go for someone on the low, like a young guy, or because I just don't see how the money's going to work. And then if we're talking, I told you so. So we'll get to that later in the show about I told you so's, but they're more for NFL. But I told you when I was new to this podcast saying, this is my first episode, actually. I talked Russell Westbrook. I said there's going to be a chemistry issue. And, it might take a couple months for the Lakers to heat up, or who knows what could happen. And the thing is with the Lakers is, LeBron's getting 28 points. He's shooting good percentage. In his defense is, AD's hurt right now. Westbrook's playing solid. Carmelo's bipolar. And after that, you don't really have that score. And the whole team is old heads. And what doesn't help for the Lakers is you don't have draft picks.
No.
You don't have to, maybe trade for like a young thing or like a young guy. And I heard, I saw something yesterday that, is just, the Lakers don't need this. I saw something and someone's like, trade is for Zion. I'm like, first of all, the Pelicans aren't going to, they don't have the assets. And second of all, Zion and LeBron, VJ, I think me and you could shoot better from the 3-point line than Zion Williamson. Like it's insane to me, man. And you just hate to see it. And the next thing I want to ask, and that we were talking about in our show prep about the Lakers, is Russell Westbrook a stat padder? I'm first of all gonna say no. And I think the issue with Russ is it's not that he's a stat padder. Like I think Russ is actually solid, but the issue with Russ is this guy's decision making is garbage. Right? Like there's some times you're like, all right, Russ, but then there's some times where Russ jacks it up from like super far out. And you're like, dude, why? You could have gone in, made a play or passed it off to somebody else. Like, what are you doing? What are your thoughts, VJ?
Here's the thing. I don't know if he's a stat patter because you have to tell me what a stat patter is. I think in sports, you have to go get your stats. And LeBron does it. He knows when he can go late in games. If they're down 12, 15 points in the last 2 minutes, just watch. Everything's to the hole. Everything's a fast layup. And most teams will let you score because they just want to inbound the ball to keep the clock running to get out of there and get the W. So there's certain guys that know that. And that's fine. I get that totally. I'm not even going to hate on that. But then don't come back to me later and goes, well, he had 31. But like, yeah. And he scored 8 in the last 3 minutes, bro. And they were down 20. So he shouldn't even have been on the floor. Most coaches pull the stars off at that point. But he's got to get out there because he's got to make sure he gets his points. Because he knows the media will then turn around and say, well, he did this, he did that. Yep. About Russ, I'm not sure if he's a stat pattern. I think he's just a high energy guy that loves to just be all over the floor. And I also believe that, look, if I played with certain players in the NBA, if I'm right there and the ball's coming off the rim, and there's nobody there to box out, and I know you're the rebound guy, I might let you go ahead and get that board. You're going to turn around and hand it right to me at the guard. I'm going to push it right up the court. But I might go ahead and let you get that board. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? People make money off stats. They get endorsement off stats. You sell sneakers off stats. You sell jerseys off stats. You sell hot dogs, draws, batteries, insurance, general insurance, like whatever it is. Your stats will help your professional sports career. I get that part of it. So, I don't know if a guy's a stat patter. Does he make some bad decisions? Yeah, Kobe made bad decisions too. Kobe's my favorite player of all time, along with Isaiah Thomas. But at the end of the day, you're winning. You're winning off bad decisions, right? You're winning. Kobe is the worst. He's probably the worst bad shot taker in NBA history. He's also the best bad shot maker in NBA history. So it's 50-50, right? Brett Favre, a lot of touchdown passes, a lot of interceptions. If you're going to throw the ball a lot, you're probably going to throw a lot of interceptions too. But if you throw 300, 400 more touchdowns than you throw interceptions, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. So LeBron, all-time leader in turnovers, right? Kobe Bryant, all-time leader in missed shots. I get it. When you shoot a lot, when you handle the ball a lot, You're going to get those stats. So I'm not sure if he's a stat pattern. If I could bounce back to Zion one time for you, I warned people. That's one of my I told you so's. I'm going to bang on that till the day I die. When he was coming out of high school, first of all his high school highlights are against guys your size. They're against guys that look like you. If you go back and watch his high school highlights, he's dunking over, 5'11", 5'10", honestly, skinny white kids. He's not playing anybody, man. He's not playing in a big market, in a big circuit at a private Christian school or Catholic school that's traveling the country playing all. It's not IMG. He's not playing at Modern Day. He's not playing for DeMatha. He's playing at some school in South Carolina, right? So he goes to Duke. You watch him at Duke, and it's like everything's the same move. It's the same move. One power bounce, but one power dribble, big hop step, in either a dunk or layup. An outside jumper, okay, hits a few threes in summer league to start the summer league, and then where does that go, right? There was a report recently that his rehab has been pushed back and had a back set because he's up to 320, 330. Dude, that's a discipline problem. At some point in your life, you got to be a professional, regardless of what you do. You got to be a professional at what you do. He's not a professional. So if Lakers want that problem, LA, with all the burger spots and taco trucks out here, all right, bring them out here then. Bring them out here and see how Shaq couldn't stay in shape out here. Shaq admits it. Shaq tells us, I was eating burgers, I was pina coladas. Me and my uncle Jerome was chilling. We was winning championships. Mark Madsen was dancing. Me and Kobe and Phil, D-Fish, Robert Orr, Big Shot Bob doing that. Shaq couldn't stay healthy out here, bro. It's a different town when your body fluctuates from a burger to fries, man. You eat one burger out here, bro. It's 2 pounds. You're eating 2 and 3 of Lindell White.
Or those big burritos at the taco truck.
Lindell White admitted that he was eating 2 and 3 McGriddles a day when he was home, when he was back in LA in the offseason. That's how he got out of shape for the Titans. He admitted that. Like, LA's just one of them towns, man. So people, you want Zion, watch what you wish for, man. You know what the good word says. Watch what you wish for. You just might get it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. And like I said, when I first brought up Zion, is the guy is overweight for his size and he can't stay healthy. And I will say, I do, when you watch Zion, you're like, okay, this guy does have potential, but he's overweight. And like in LA, the food spots, go crazy. And he also can't stay healthy. And the Lakers can't stay healthy. They have a 38-year-old LeBron James who is injured, and they have Anthony Davis, who's literal glass. Russell Westbrook isn't the most healthy player. They're a super old team. I don't like the trade at all, and I hope it doesn't happen because it won't. The Lakers don't have the assets. I could see Zion getting traded, but not to the Lakers.
Listen, this is where this all went south. When LeBron got here, if he was smart and not a narcissist, he is smart, but he's smart in a narcissistic way. If he'd have really just looked and said, okay, Lonzo, Randall, Ingram, sacrifice a year or two, and in 3 years, I can have these guys in the finals. I really believe LeBron would have had those guys in the finals. I believe he could have put his arm around those young guys and said, look, I'm the king. I'm the chosen one with blah, 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 whatever. This is how we're going to do it here. We're going to go through these bumps the next 2 years. But in year 3, I guarantee you guys, I'll have us in the finals. I'll get us past the Warriors. I'll get us past the Mavs. I'll get us past Joker. I'll get us past the Clips. I'll get us past everybody. Trust me on this. I'll handle PG and Kawhi. Y'all take care of everybody else. I'll handle Joker. Y'all take care of everybody else. I'll handle Steph. Y'all take care of everybody else. His greed and narcissisticness of to be the man and to have all the shine on him. Oh, I want to get rid of all these guys and let me go get my guy. Let's rewind back to AD. The year before AD started pouting systematically, and it was the plan between him, Rich Paul, and LeBron James. They had knocked off the Portland Trailblazers as the underseed. They swept them in the playoffs. I was in New Orleans when the sweep happened. So I was there. I felt it in the town. I felt the energy there. I was there on vacation. Everything was beautiful. How did everything change so fast that him being so-called unhappy? Fires his agent, hires Rich Paul. They knew what they were doing all along. It was all manipulated for this to happen because he wanted it now. And he knew AD could be a guy that would pretty much kind of shut up and kind of be his puppet. AD was the best player on that team that year that the bubble happened. Let him in points, let him in rebounds, let him in blocks. LeBron just let him in assists. AD let him in everything else. It was first team all defense. It was in the MVP conversation. He was their best player. Who got all the credit? LeBron did. This is what happens when you put stuff like this together. And this started back when you traded all those young assets. Now, things look bad in New Orleans, but it's not Ingram, right? Things look good in Chicago. Who's the starting point guard there? Even D'Angelo Russell. Then Minnesota's a 500 team. They're in the playoff race right now. They're fighting for that playing game. Could you imagine if the Lakers would have to play the Minnesota Timberwolves in a playing game? That's what it's set up to look at right now, being the 7th and the 9th seed between those two squads right now. Could you just imagine if he'd have just put the ego and the narcissistic attitude away, said, you know what, let me sacrifice a few years. But in the 3rd year, and I'm the biggest non-LeBron fan, but I will admit, if he kept those guys, they would have been in the finals last year because that would have been year 3.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to NFL. Good points on LeBron there. Now, I want to, lead with the 49ers-Texans game. I know Jimmy G's battling a thumb injury, and you have to think the Texans aren't a good team. So, do you just start, Trey Lance maybe in this 49ers-Texans game?
If Trey Lance is healthy, you almost don't have a choice. I wouldn't put a quarterback out there with ligament and thumb injuries. And I mean, we can go back to the draft. I thought the Niners moving up to number 3 to take Trey Lance should have run Jimmy out of town. I predicted, and I was wrong. I predicted Jimmy wouldn't make it through draft weekend. I thought by Monday morning, Jimmy Garoppolo would be on would have been on a different team. Because I don't like the idea of bringing in a rookie, moving up to get a guy, but still trying to hold on to the veteran. I think it just creates animosity in the locker room. You divide the locker room. It creates a divisive unit within the camaraderie. And
Thank you for agreeing with me on that. I swear, you're the only one.
Yeah. I think he should have been gone. Now, did it work out that he stuck there, that they kept with him and stuff? I mean, they have him in playoff position. We'll see what happens these last 2 weeks. They end up with the Rams here in Los Angeles, which might pretty much be for the division, but they're 2 games behind them. So if the Rams win this weekend, then they got no shot at winning the division. The Rams are going to win the division, but they do have a shot. Oh, well, them are the Cardinals, but they do have a shot to still get into the playoffs if they win that last game. So if he's healthy, yeah, but I mean, God, man, at this point in the season, I'm a tough guy, man. I like to fancy myself as a tough. Injuries never stop me. I played with separated shoulders. I've popped shoulders back in, or had to train on the sideline, pop shoulders back in my career, twisted ankles, sprained ankles. I come from an area you just play. You're injured or you're hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. If you're injured, you can't play. If you're hurt, you still can. So I come from that era. And if Jimmy could play, tape it up, shoot it up, put a splint on it, whatever you got to do, if it's not going to affect him throwing the ball, you have to play. To throw Trey Lance out there with the playoffs on the line, I would be iffy on that if Trey Lance is out there. The Niners are favored. It is the Texans, but it's on the road.
But they did win against the Chargers last week in a weird game.
Yeah.
And I'll bring this up quickly too, since we're talking about Chargers-Texans. Chargers are kind of like the Clippers. They lose some of the weirdest games ever. Yeah. I mean, they lost to the Chiefs, but they were in that one, and it was really because Brandon Staley. And then you lose by 12 to the Texans, and there are just some plays there that were just like, oh, come on, man. And my thoughts on Jimmy G and Trey Lance on the Niners is, all right, I'm with you. I run cross country and track. I've ran injured, and yes, I've ran where it affects me, my performance. I ran the ambulatory state division with some sort of torn calf situation that affected my performance. I also ran with a pulled back muscle one time. Didn't really affect my performance. I still showed out. And if you can show out and if you can still do good and you're, on your A game and, you and the trainers can fix your thumb to where you can throw that ball good, man, I think you should play. But when it comes to, all right, my thumb is messed up. I need my thumb to throw the football. And my team is, on Sunday, we got the Niners or the Texans. It's a crappy team, but you never know. It's an away game. But at the same time, you want a guy who can throw the ball and who's not affected. Like I saw something on Twitter where maybe Jimmy G hurt his thumb during that 49ers Titans game because that was a weird situation. He started 5 for 5, 59 yards and led them to a opening touchdown drive. And it was just never the same after that for the Niners. Like that's when he started to have like the crappy decisions. So you kind of wonder, okay, maybe did he mess up his thumb then? Maybe. And if I'm the Niners though, like I said, messed up thumb affects your throwing. If Lance is healthy, why not? Right?
Yeah, I'm with you. If he's healthy, why not? But I love your analogy of the Chargers and the Clippers. I love that analogy. They just lose games and it just makes you scratch your head and go, huh? The Cardinals are like that too. I mean, you go up to Detroit, right? And you get so honestly, and you get your ass handed to you. It wasn't close. It wasn't down to the last minute. Dan Campbell, you can tell us put at least his physical mindset, his physicality mindset has at least been imprinted on this team. I'll give him that. And they just smacked him around, man, like some rag dolls. And I feel you with that with the Clippers. But the Niners, look, the defense will play well, have great weapons on the outside. Deebo Samuel has basically almost saved one of my 18 fantasy league teams.
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, my cousin was playing against him to go to the championship, and it was Christmas, like we were together like around that time, and man, he was like freaking out. But then my cousin had the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams combo, and that's what saved him.
Well, I tell anybody a fancy quick sidebar. Listen, rule number 1: if you take a receiver in the first round, go get his quarterback in the second round. That's fantasy. That's one of my secret little VJ fantasy rules. It'll win you a lot of games, guys, and it will win you championships. But if I'm the Niners, you have to. It's all on Jimmy. Can you play or not? Can we get through this or not? And then if he can't, then you have to play Trey Lance. Let's just say the Texans. I would still take the Niners in this game because I don't think that the Texans. I don't think that the Texans can do that back to back. I agree. I don't think the Texans can do that back to back. I mean, once again, we'll go to lines, right? Great home win against Arizona, 28, 27 points. You go to Atlanta, a team that you probably could beat, win that game. They throw an interception late driving. You have your backup quarterback in, but you got 10, 13 points on the board, right? So it's like, yeah, you did it one week, but can you do it again? And I'm looking for the spread here. I just want to see where the numbers is. I mean, God, San Francisco's favorite 12.5, man.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll cover. Yeah, I don't think they'll cover.
I'll take the Niners in this one because this is what we do. Like I'll talk about the games and pick the score. Yeah. I'm gonna take the Niners in this one, but like I'm gonna give it like 31 to like 17. I'm gonna say it's a 14-point game. And the thing with Davis Mills too for the Texans, I believe he's starting this week, is he shows some glimpses, but I'm just not like. He showed glimpses against the Chargers. It's like, okay, the Chargers, they do some freaky stuff. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to be like, okay, this guy could be something. But the Niners have a pretty good defense. I think they're pretty healthy. And I could see the Niners defense putting in some work on Davis Mills. I think, 17 points is fair. And with the Niners offense too, is it's either Deebo Samuel or George Kittle or nothing. Like I think Elijah Mitchell, I haven't seen update on his status or running back. So I think it's going to have to be the quarterback. If it's Jimmy G or Trey Lance, it's Jimmy G thinks he's going to play. So we'll just say it's Jimmy G for, the pick. So Jimmy G, he needs to feed Deebo Samuel. Samuel needs to have a good game. And also you need to have some Kittle touches in there and free to win like that. That's what I think.
Okay, that's cool. Give me the Texans and I'll take them points. I just don't think the Niners will cover the 12.5. I'm not giving them, and I'm going just by betting rules. Normally the percentage when a spread is 11.5 or more, normally the percentage is the team that's picked to lose covers that. So I think the Niners will win, but they're not going to cover. I don't have them covered. So I'll take the Texans and I'll take those 12.5.
All righty, man. Now this is something that I want to get into with another week 17 matchup here, as we got the Rams at the Ravens. And the main storyline, if you will, of this game is Lamar Jackson returned to practice yesterday, but he who knows? It doesn't look like he's all good. He returned with a limp. So, I think he's going to play, and I think Huntley's still on the vid list. So I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson. But then again, that kind of worries me, man. If you're starting Lamar Jackson limping, that's like Jimmy G with his messed up thumb. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his jam. So it's kind of like, okay, I had the Rams to win anyway, because like the Rams are a fire team. I hate to say that. Every time I talk about the Rams as a Seahawks fan, I'm just like, and I do think the Ravens are gonna lose to the Rams, and if Lamar is like healthy, it could be has potential to be a close game. But if Lamar's limping around the field, looking like he can't run that ball like he usually should, to be honest, man, this could be a blowout.
Number one, the Rams were my Super Bowl pick out of the NFC. And being that I'm working on getting my own, and being I'm working on getting my credential for the Super Bowl, I need that to happen so I could go and have fun and hit all the parties and all the media and press stuff up that I would have access to, with the home team being here and being my pick. So I like the Rams. I like them all year long. I think they righted the ship. If I be more, I shut Lamar down. Lamar season's done. You don't have the horses. 21 players on IR, 17 to start opening night against the Raiders on Monday night. NFL record. He carried them 13 weeks pretty much by himself, and a good to great, not great, but a good to great tight end. That's his best weapon. Hollywood Brown had stepped up and been the guy he should have been. Bateman out of Minnesota, he's starting to really learn. This ain't Indiana, this ain't Illinois, this ain't Northwestern. This is, this ain't even Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. This is the NFL, man. Every corner you going against, every safety you going against, every linebacker that's bumping you on the crossing routes, they were all the man in school. He was cool at Oklahoma. I didn't think he was a, all-American type kid when he was at Oklahoma. But excuse me, at Minnesota. But I'm just thinking that he's learning that this is a different level. And Lamar, he did what he could. If I'm them, I go to Lamar and I say, look, 2 games to go. We're not winning at all. Now, I know there's nothing you want to say in public if you're the Ravens, fine. But they're not winning at all.
Yeah,
they're not winning the championship. They're not winning a playoff game. J.K. Dobbins down. They lost Brandon. They lost Peters. They lost Marcus Peters to a torn Achilles or ACL, whatever.
Didn't they lose Ronnie Stanley again too? Their
exactly. They lost their backup running back. So it's over. It's just been one of those years. There's always one in the NFL every year that goes through this. There's always one that when you just kind of just go, hey, man, it just when and they're still sitting at 86. They're still right there. But even if you win the division, and even if you get that home playoff game, you could have the Patriots come in there. You can have Miami bringing their defense in there. They've already beaten them. If Miami wins out and gets into the playoffs, my beloved Dolphins, I just don't think that it's a year that you're going to win it and even go far. I'd shut Lamar down. You're going to have to pay him $100 million soon. He goes out and that ankle gets worse, or i.e. Grant Hill back in 95, 96, where, he played on that hurt ankle in the playoffs when he should have sat. Detroit had no chance to win the NBA championship. Probably not even to get to the conference finals. Made it worse. Never the same player again. Career derailed of the Grant Hill that we got robbed of with the Grant Hill we should have saw over a long period of time. I don't want to see that with Lamar Jackson. And we almost had it with Mike Vick when he got himself hurt when he was young. But I don't want to see it with Lamar. I shut him down. Give me the Rams. Give me the 4. Give me the Rams. Give me the 4.5. And give me the over on the 46.5 also.
Okay. See, the thing is with me is I understand like the over under of points, but the spread throws me off.
Okay.
But about maybe you can explain that after I give this point. But about like the Ravens is Tyler Huntley, their backup quarterback. The couple games like the one when he subbed in for Lamar and came back and nearly beat the Browns, that showed credit. He kept it close with the Packers. And if Lamar is like not ready to go and Huntley is off the COVID list, you got the Rams this week, which is going to be a hard opponent. But you got the Steelers week 18. Steelers aren't that good of a team. So if you're that worried about winning it, there's still make it to the playoffs. If you want that, there's still a shot with Tyler Huntley. If that guy can get off the COVID-19 list.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like if he can show out in these 2 games, then you have a decision on your hands. Do you keep Lamar Jackson, right? and trade Hundley. Because if Hundley shows out, some team might bite on that, and that's value. You can, have these picks, build around Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Or do you not pay Lamar and build around Hundley? I think Lamar's a better player, but Hundley, he's not a slouch. And, keeping it that close against that Green Bay Packers team showed something to me about Hundley. And over under a 46, you said 46.5 points.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that. I think
I'm with you. I think it's going to be like some sort of 28-24 situation. Like that, unless Lamar plays hurt, then I could expect it to be worse and maybe the under happens. But I still, it was only Wednesday when that report came out. 5 days to rehab it, or 4 days to rehab it, excuse me. Or you can just go to Tyler Hundley, and if he's back from COVID, which now there should be no excuse, because if he's asymptomatic, it's been more than 5 days, he's good to come back. So I will take the Rams to win. I could be skeptical on the over 46.5 points, but I am going to roll with it skeptically. But give me the Rams in that one.
Rams are going to score 30 points, so they're going to clear this over and under. The Rams are scoring 30. They have that type of weapons. They put 30 on Minnesota on the road. This isn't your, well, I can say your dad's, not mine, but this isn't your dad's Baltimore defense. Even though Baltimore still stands for defense, and they still have some great defensive players and really good defensive players, but the Rams, I think the Rams are right at the ship. I think the Rams are clicking right now. I think the Rams are going to show out. I really do. I think the Rams are still going to the conference championship game and even to the Super Bowl as long as they get these together. Also, too, quick sidebar, Cam Akers might play this weekend. I kind of like crazy. That. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But there's something to be said, and you're a young buckaroo. And listen to an OG right now, young buck. Something to be said for being young, player. When you young, bruh, I go play hoop. I need 3 days to recover, dog. I'm 44. I'm 44, man. I got years on my body, dog. I have to lay on a certain side. I got to sleep with a certain pillow. I got to have a certain type of sofa, a certain type of recliner. I have to drink a certain amount of water every day and less diet ginger ale and Kool-Aid, okay? You guys can roll out of the bed, put flip-flops on, grab a bag of Doritos, a breakfast sandwich, and a juice box, and go play flag or go play baseball. You can go run right now. You don't need to stretch. Dog, I got to stretch. You say cross country. I respect that, bro, because I don't run. I don't like running. It hurts. It hurts. Running hurts, man. And cross country runners, you guys are soldiers, man. There's no one out there cheering. There's no big crowds. Sometimes y'all running through the damn woods and through neighborhoods and people looking around like, what the hell is going on? And they make you wear tiny shorts and little thin tank
they got
tops.
the booty shorts. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, I'd be mad as hell. You guys are real soldier athletes, man, because there's no one out there for you. It's all you, man. It's you, your lungs, and the course. So I respect that, bro. But you don't have to stretch to go. You can go do that right now. As soon as the show's over, you can go run right now. I have to stretch. I got to find my icy hot. I got to drink like half a gallon of water. I got to say a prayer to Jesus. There's a lot I got to do before I go run. So there's something to be said about being young. And Cam Akers, ACL in August, and we're going into the new year, and they're talking about him possibly suiting up to play. I wouldn't do it. I'd wait another week. And if you need him in a playoff game, maybe it's a change of pace because the other. I
agree, because what's that guy's name? Sony Michel. He's been balling lately, and
he's the Georgia back that's not gonna pan out. He's the Georgia guy you see these other Georgia guys doing well, but he's the Georgia guy I look at and go, listen, Bill Belichick loves to run the football. Loves to run the football. When he sends a running back away, dog, where's Burkett at now? Burkett,
and he's actually on the Houston Texans. Yeah,
exactly, with the Texans, right? Exactly. But
I don't know anyone on the Texans.
The Texans, though. That's Brandon the point, right? But at one point, he started like 4 or 5 games. There were games. He was a fantasy pickup jewel last year.
Yep. There's a couple of those Patriots guys last year and who were fantasy pickups. him, Jacoby Myers too. Was it? I think that's his name. This year you got like the running backs like Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson in there a couple of games, and yeah, that is definitely. And you do bring up Sony Michel dude. Even the Seahawks let him go to the Patriots. Patriots let him go. He's like a journeyman. And with the Rams too. The thing with the Rams is they have like when you have that Cooper Kupp, that guy is so good. When you have Cooper Kupp at receiver and Odell, who's turned out to be actually solid for them, all the energy is going towards Cooper Kupp, right? Yeah. So you can afford to have, an average running back in there. When you get Cam Akers back, and if he's fully healthy, the Rams are going to be tearing stuff up, man. And we were talking about cross country. I think I've told the story on the podcast before, but last season during the COVID, season, we usually, cross country, you start late August, go to November. With COVID, we started in February and went to March because, everything was all screwed up. And, the situation was they deem it safe when our season would actually start. So we had like a winter cross country season. And I was running at this high school, right? It was me and my guide runner. We were running the course. It was like the backwoods of a high school in my area. And it was super woody. And as a blind guy would suck, but you got to go through it. And I'm running, and there's this homeless guy in the middle of the trail with his AirPods in, with his pants down. And this guy was vibing so hard. My guide was yelling at him. I'm like, bro, get out of the way. Like, this fool cost me like 30 seconds. It was.
Oh, Emmett, you're funny, man. That's a funny ass story, bro.
I know. It's so good.
Oh my God.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you? My question too, like, not to poke light at any homeless people. If you're homeless, listen, cool, man, good job. Like, I respect.
I got you. Listen, I do stand up comedy, bro. You're not gonna offend me.
No, but what I gotta say is, where'd you get those AirPods, man?
Exactly. Like, where the hell? You're homeless, dude. I do a comedy bit. I stand up. I've been a stand-up comedian over 20 years, and I do a bit about how life is tough for comedians, and I'm broken. There's homeless people out here got more than me. And I do a bit about standing on the corner about to cross the street. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hear, hey, yo, man, move. I'm trying to watch TV. And I turn around and I'm looking at a homeless dude. This dude got a couch. He got dishes on the ground set up. He got a bucket of water to wash his dishes. I'm like, what do you mean watching TV? He's like, right there. He points. I turn around. Dude got a tablet duct taped to the stop sign. I'm like, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? Are you? I sat down with him and started watching Power. I was like, is this the episode where they kill 50 Cent? Okay. Yeah, I seen this one. Bro, how did you say, like, yeah, he's like, yeah, sit down, man. You in the way. So I've done bits like that about homeless people asking for money when you say they don't have any change. He pulls out an iPhone and stick a credit card scanner and was like, it's all cool, man. Just swipe right here, dog, and put your PIN code in. What the hell? Hold on. First of all, how you got a credit card scanner? Where'd you get that from? And how do you know how to do this? Like you're on the street. So trust me, man. It's there in LA. You see it. They are very functional homeless people, and I've talked to them. And I had one guy tell me straight up, man, I'm free, bro. He goes, you guys are all the ones trapped. He goes, I'm free. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't have rent. I don't have gas. I don't have bills. I don't have my cell phones prepaid. I collect bottles to get my money to pay my cell phone every month and to eat. He had a whole setup, man. He had a fire going with 2 center blocks holding up a pot and boiling food. Like, there are people, there's an 80s movie, man. And we'll get back to sports, but just for you're a young kid. There's an 80s movie called Down and Out in Beverly Hills. It's with Nick Nolte and Bette Midler. A lot of young up-and-coming star, Richard Dreyfuss, a lot of up-and-coming Hollywood stars at the time. And it's about a rich guy who owns a coat hanger patent. He patented a certain coat hanger that all the dry cleaners brought in LA and became a multi-millionaire. Where he finds this homeless guy, Nick Nolte, and moves him in because he feels sorry for him. And I don't want to ruin it for you just in case you ever go watch the movie. But the story of you're rich, you have all this money, this big house, this pool, this sexy Latina housekeeper, and all this other stuff going on, and you have the most corruption in your home. Everyone in your home is unhappy with all this money. And here I am, this homeless guy, and I'm going to swindle my way into your lifestyle and pretty much teach you a life lesson. And that's all I'll give you about. But there's a movie, it's called Down and Out in Beverly Hills. It was a total success in the 80s. Came out like 85, 86, but good movie to go back and check out along the lines of what you're talking about with homeless people.
What a way to segue. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas and VJ Husky with us today. Get me on
Yes, sir.
Twitter, EmmettNosi04. Follow the show at BlindsidePod11. I did change the Instagram name of my show because I made it super complicated. Blindside Sports 00. All right.
I
Get
love
VJ.
that. I love that.
Get VJ on Twitter at Vesson Sports, YouTube Vesson Sports.
Yes.
Go search on Sportsmanlike Conduct on iHeartRadio and
yes.
VJ Vernon on LinkedIn.
The Big Vanilla Funny, baby.
Big Vanilla Funny with us.
Yes,
I want to dive into, this is like kind of the season where the NBA stars pick up. Now we got a lot of football, so that's what this episode is. And VJ, before we get into this, I haven't led with NBA since the Kyrie Irving situation. But anyways, NFL, why don't we talk about Baker Mayfield and the struggles of Baker Mayfield? I'm going to lead off with this one to set the scene up for VJ here. Now, obviously, Baker Mayfield, he's been struggling this season. And part of that's the injury. And I've been defending this guy because I actually was like a fan of what the Browns are doing. I'm a fan of Baker. I think he's a cool guy, funny dude, like in the acting commercials and stuff. And I've been defending him. Okay, this guy's injured. Like he's fine. He's injured. And my opinion has kind of retracked in that Packers game where he's making some bad decisions and all this stuff. And what my hypothesis and my mind just came up with here is Baker Mayfield needs Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He really does. Like when they were with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt last year, fully healthy, Kareem Hunt was on my fantasy team. I picked him up this year. Obviously, that didn't turn out too well. They were God. And you'd think, too, like they made some moves on defense. They picked up Jadeveon Clowney, who's not like an impact. Like he's not going to get you like 20 sacks. But when he's healthy, he's there. Didn't they pick up like John Johnson, too, in free agency or something like that? You end up drafting Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the draft, who's turned out decent. And all that issue is the offense. And, Nick Chubb's, he's had some injuries. And obviously, big COVID situation for the Browns. And without Kareem Hunt, they're just like in the dynamic duo of Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, they're not there. And we're going to talk about that more later in this disappointments. I told you so surprises segment that are going to do to end the show. But this is something where I doubt with like the way Baker's performed this year. Unfortunately, I don't see him getting paid like his big old contract. Maybe they franchise tag him. I don't see him like moving on from Baker. But next year, like that's going to be the year for Baker with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. And it's clear to this point, Baker isn't a superstar. He isn't a star. He's a system quarterback.
I totally disagree. First of all, look, man, y'all going to back off my man Baker. Y'all going to back off my man BM. I'm getting tired of this, man. Y'all going to leave my man BM alone. Listen, I go back to watching him in high school. Okay. I cover high school football out here for Fox Sports West and for Prep Sports Nation. And then I started my own company, Vesson Sports, and we go out and call games. Next year, it'll be the first year we'll be doing it full time where I'll have multiple schools and calling games and broadcasting them radio wise on Vesson, on Springer.com and iHeartRadio. So I watch these high school kids, and I've been watching them since high school, and I love them at Oklahoma. Listen, there's a few factors here. Let's just go through some numbers. He's 30 and 29 as a starting quarterback. Okay, 50%, I get it. 62%, 7.5 per 62% completion, 7.5 per completion, 90 touchdowns, 54 interceptions with an 89 percentage quarterback rate. Okay, not great, not bad. Okay, middle of the road, a little. It's not great, but it's good, and it's not bad, and it's above bad, and it's above average. When you have to go through 2 or 3 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, so many different systems, have you guys heard what one NFL play sounds like? I write 487 Z strap, 37 trigger, Luger Skittles, 32 on the back. Watch for the backdrop on the 36. Hey, left tackle, make sure we get the 55 on the mic, and the mic is the 32. Ready? That's one play. That's one play. Imagine having to learn 400 of those differently. 400 different of those 4 years in a row. Most of you guys out there can't speak another language, but you want him to be able to speak 4 different languages, 400 different times in 4 straight years. while missing all his stars, while missing the top guys on the offense that will help him, while the team makes a mistake by bringing in Odell Beckham and giving up draft picks and giving up other things for that. I love Jarvis Landry. Where's he been this year? Nowhere. David Njoku coming out of Miami. He's supposed to be the next one, right? He was going to be the next one. This kid's going to be, Jeremy Shockey, Gonzalez, Greg Olsen. This kid's not even Greg Olsen. He's not even Olsen. Jimmy Graham. He's going to be the next one. No. Yeah, Myles Garrett. I didn't like the fact that they trade away Julius Peppers. I think that's really hurt the secondary.
Agreed. I like Julius Peppers.
Yeah, I love Julius Peppers. The guy, I forget his name. I forget it. Denzel Ward out of Ohio State. He's solid, all-pro corner. Myles Garrett, number one overall. So, they have pieces, but when you're missing guys are getting injured, you don't have your running game, and then everything's thrown on you, and you're playing through a torn labrum. And not only that, even back to the way I kind of view the media and fans with LeBron, I do the same way with Baker Mayfield. We've allowed, and I've learned a lot from this gentleman in the business. He has taught me a lot on how to do a professional radio show. Doesn't mean that there's some things that I don't agree with. We've let Colin Cowherd us about Baker Mayfield.
Agree.
He didn't like the way that Baker handled himself against Kansas. Real quick, let me tell you about the Kansas story that we all know about. I happened to be home that morning on the West Coast, 12 p.m. start Eastern time. So that's a 9 a.m. college game for us on the West Coast. You live up in the Seattle area, so you know. There was nothing else on worth watching. So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to watch a Heisman hopeful guy. I'll watch this Kansas game until maybe the other games get close enough. Maybe I'll turn to it, and I'll wait for the Michigan game to start next. I saw the coin flip. I saw that live where he tried to shake their hand, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, Baker. Baker was like, okay, then let's proceed to the first quarter where they're taking unnecessary shots on him. They got 3 roughing the passer penalties. So you can see they were truly out for him that game in a dirty way. I don't mind playing rough. I don't mind playing hard. And in football, I don't play to the whistle. I play to the echo of the whistle because that's how I was taught. You make it clean, but you make it hard. You make it physical. And they were being really dirty that game. So once he got tired of that, you know what? That crap, I want to say another word, but I'll be respectful to your show. That crap, he said, okay, I'm about to bust y'all ass. And that's what he did. And then walking on the sideline, we know about the crotch grab, bro. I'd have done the same thing. See, that's the difference between moxie, arrogance, and being a narcissist. What that is right there, that's moxie, man. I try to be respectful to you, even though I know I'm about to bust your ass by 45. You're Kansas. You're not a football school. Have you not gotten the memo? You're Kansas, a basketball school. Dude. And this is how you want to act. If anything, I'd have been respectful as hell. Maybe I'll take it easy. Maybe I only beat you 30. Maybe I only beat you 33-3 today. No, okay, you want to do that? Okay, now I'm going to hang a 50 burger on your ass while I go win the Heisman. And then Colin comes on the next day, and he's got a huge following. So whatever he says, people are going to be and trash. Oh, he's in LA. Yeah, let's bring him on the show. Let's act like we're going to be cool and be professional. And we're going to trash while he's sitting on the couch. And I love the way Baker handled himself. Wasn't disrespectful, respected Colin, but told him how he felt. Yeah,
Baker's a really nice guy.
I just feel like you're trying to start stuff. Yeah, he told him straight up. I just feel like you're trying to start stuff. I just feel like you were being disrespectful. And then Colin actually looked back. He actually backed off a little bit, but went right back at him once he got a chance for the Cleveland to lose. He's just a guy people are just waiting to fail. And I don't like that. And I understand it happens, but it doesn't mean that I have to like it, especially when you have all those variables that I just mentioned. So we've let someone that has a huge platform actually kind of mislead us to what Baker Mayfield is. And also to last point, guys, it's the Browns. It's hard. It's the Browns. It's like the Royals. It's like the Jags. It's like my Pistons right now. Like you can use my Pistons. It's like the Pistons. It's like Orlando, man. It's like the Detroit Lions.
The Trailblazers, man. They get eliminated like first round or something.
Thank you. Certain places, it's just always the kiss of death, be bad.
Yeah. Okay. And my thing with Baker is there's some things where you have to realize, okay, like that's a little questionable. I'm not saying Baker's a bust, right? I'm not saying that. I just think. Which in a lot of quarterbacks, like my thing is a lot of quarterbacks need that running back. Like obviously Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, that was, a crazy situation. And you got like Tom Brady with like even Leonard Fournette, like they were balling out earlier this year. Tannehill and Derrick Henry. And that's just where Baker's at his best. The running game opens up other plays. And if the Browns somehow lose Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb, they're screwed. And you do bring up like the point where the team will it's like the location, like the kiss of death for that location. Like we got Cleveland, not known for being the best for the football team, and then, like last year they were so close to beating the Chiefs and advancing to the AFC Championship. Man, they were close, and they absolutely mollywopped the Steelers in the wild card. Like
they're in that game. Like I'm sorry to interrupt. Look, they're in that game. They're in that game. The play where the player gets hit, where he fumbles out of the end zone, is a touchback. Fine, that's the right call. But there's a helmet-to-helmet hit right there, which should have gave them first down on the one. That is a clear helmet. You guys have been calling that all year long, and you're not going to call it right now. And it's clear he spears with his helmet. It's helmet to helmet. There's the change in that game right there, because Kansas City gets the ball, they go score before the half, game over.
Yep. And then man, I really like I said, I like what the Browns are doing. These are just some things I've noticed with Baker. I'm just not as a Baker apologist. And the thing you bring up with Colin Cowherd is true, and how he just rips Baker, and that's a lot of people in sports media, like our boy, I love you, Rob, if you're he's probably not listening, but if you are listening, our guy Rob Parker and Tom Brady, I love you, Rob, but you have you have a hatred for Tom Brady. I don't know why. I mean, and it's like calling him Baker. I don't know, I don't know why you'd hate the guy. Like Baker, and Baker does handle it well. And you've seen me on Twitter. I think I've quoted some of like the Colin Cowherd videos and disagreed with him on Baker. Like, do you remember last year, or it was actually this year? It was like probably 10 months ago in like March of 2021, where Baker and his wife thought he saw the U of O. That was just that should have, okay, cool. Like that's a story you should talk about on the scraps, right? Like one of those segments where you just dive into little stories. Colin made that such a big story just to rip Baker Mayfield. Yep. And I was like, come on, man. Like if he saw it, let him have it. Like you could tell it was just a bias, hating Baker Mayfield for no reason. And look, I said this multiple times. I'm going to say it again. I like Baker. I like what he does. But Baker is a guy where he's at his best with his boys, his two running backs, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. And this year, like I'm not gonna bet against the Browns next year and work on them, because Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt was healthy. And look, we've learned, okay, maybe Baker, Jarvis Landry, he's like the Browns have receivers, but I feel like Baker could have made some plays. And I gotta go on this tangent real quick. Those couple games, it was Browns, Broncos, and I forgot the other one, but Dearness Johnson picked him up in fantasy. Dude single-handedly won me the matchup. Like the Browns, that's one thing I'll give the Browns. They have good luck with running backs.
Yeah. Well, to shout out my man, Rob Parker, Tom Brady's no good. Tom Brady. Lucky. Come on, Chris. You know that. He's Robert Ory. He's the Robert Ory of the NFL. Come on. I'm not a fan. I'm a journalist. You guys are fans. Yeah, that's my guy. Rob's my guy.
Tom Brady is the GOAT, the GOAT, the most lucky GOAT of all time, Chris. He's a cheater. He shouldn't have won that Super Bowl. He got lucky. Patrick Mahomes hurt. No offensive line. Stop it.
Yeah, stop it. And Chris Broussard, I'm just saying, man, Tom Brady. Now, Rob, come on, stop it, Rob. Rob, Brady's winning. You're a hater, Rob. I mean, those two guys, I love it. I feel them.
In Rob Guerra, their producer, is another Tom Brady hater, and I remember Rob was
he's a Raider fan. That's why.
Yeah, obviously, but what he said Rob was funny. Yeah, our guy Rob G, he was like, I can name like 8 quarterbacks better than Tom Brady. He's like August, right? And Chris like, but Rob, stop it! Like just going off on him. And, man, if y'all haven't checked out the Odd Couple, 4 to 7 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio, go check it out. Those guys do it's such a good listen. And if you want to laugh, if you're a Tom Brady defender, if you're a Tom Brady or Brady hater, and you want to be fueled by another Tom Brady hater, just look up on YouTube Rob Parker, Tom Brady, and a bunch of stuff will come up. I've done it
Yeah,
before. It's
exactly.
hilarious.
Yeah, and while you're there, look up Odd Couple and VJ, and a bunch of VJ stuff will come up. Anyway, but no, listen,
Do that too.
we're just going to disagree on the Baker thing. I love the kid. I've always liked the kid. And my whole Colin thing is not to knock Colin, because like I said, I learned so much from him.
Colin's the GOAT, one of the GOATs.
When he was at the Mouse, I don't know if he's the GOAT. I get at the Dan Patrick,
one of them.
But when he was at the
Dan
Mouse,
Patrick,
he taught me a lot when he was over at the Mouse. My wife works at the Mouse. She's been there 15 years, so I've got a chance to really mingle and rub elbows with a lot of people in this industry that have helped me and that love my talent and really have helped me out in the industry. And I'll just leave it at that. But when you have a platform, the reason why I brought him up, because I feel like when you have a platform, I believe that it's your responsibility to keep it really real, man, and not have your own personal narrative. And just, if you don't like, because he tells on himself too much. He admitted, I don't like backwards hat quarterbacks. So and see, and this is how I take it. As an African American from a community where we wear backwards hats, I take it as you want a guy to look a certain part. If that's the case, then that means that you don't like when a guy doesn't look that part, and that can roll. And I'm not calling him anything, but that can roll over until how I hear you speak about a black quarterback, or how I hear you speak about a black head coach. There's these underlying undertones in life, man, that you have to listen to, and you must key in on if you really want to know what somebody's saying. Sometimes people think they're hiding their true feelings and they're so stupid. They're putting it right there in front of you. You have to be smart enough to pick on that. He made a comment once too about, I want my quarterback to come from a two-parent home, on my point guard to come from a two-parent home. And that was a dig at John Wall. I took that super personally, because you don't know John Wall's circumstances. You didn't grow up in the hood,
that's
bro.
messed up.
You didn't grow up. Yeah, you didn't grow up in the hood. You didn't grow up black. You didn't grow up in some of the demographic and situations that we are put in to start our life. A lot of times it's not our choice where we live. It's not our choice that our parents, one's in prison, or a lot of things that happen in the hood. That's not a black kid's choice. So I think when you say something like that, there's a lot of undertone there. And that's just something I would completely stay away from. If I was on that other side of it, I would leave that totally alone.
Totally alone,
yeah. You mean John Wall? You mean the guy that openly wept when he found out that the little girl with cancer he had been going to see 2 and 3 days a week and really spending time with her, not obligated through no contract, not obligated through no sponsorship, because he wanted to do it. You mean that John Wall that wept openly at a post game when he was asked about her passing early that afternoon before he went out and had like a 40-point game or something like that? You mean that kid? You don't want that guy as your point guard? Okay. Who do you want then? If you don't want, I want that guy. I want
John,
that
that's
guy.
A Karen dude right there, man.
Exactly.
I got to point this out to you,
sure,
about the media, and you nailed that one on the head with like the media bias, man. Like, okay, and that's not just sports talk media. That's not just talk radio. That's anyone on the internet, whether we're talking a famous YouTuber who plays video games, a famous TikToker, whatever. And we see it firsthand with like these stupid TikTok challenges where we got these kids, like I'm in high school, we got these kids destroying our bathrooms because they see it on TikTok. People are going to follow what they say, right? They see their, influencer on the internet doing something stupid, they're going to want to do it. And my thing too with like what I try bringing to the show is a lot of Seahawks fans, right? This is what comes to my mind. Sometimes, I will rip the Niners, but I try and be real, right? I try and keep it real. But like a lot of NFC West Seahawks fans, Cardinal Niner fans, they would be super biased towards the Rams, right? And then after I bring this up, we're going to get into probably one of the huger matchups of this week. You ought to get into this. But I would be, a lot of people in our division, like fellow NFC West fans, they would be very biased and be like, no, the Rams are nothing, because they're a Cardinals fan or they're a Niners fan or they're a Hawks fan and they can't stand the Rams. What I do is, okay, I don't like the Rams because they're a division team, but I'm not gonna short you on my opinion, right? I'm not gonna be biased. I'm gonna keep it real. I can admit the Rams are good, and that's just the thing with media. People are gonna follow, like with the Colin Baker, for example, or these Tom Brady haters, or these people who just absolutely love like Justin Herbert, which I do. I love Justin Herbert, such a good guy, good quarterback, but Those are my thoughts on that. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas joining me today. VJ Vanilla Husky. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's get into probably the biggest matchup.
Okay.
Huge playoff implications. This is one that you personally reached out to me when we were texting about the show. You wanted to talk about. So I've been taking the lead off on these ones. Chiefs Bengals. Give us a spread. Give us the over under, and give us your thoughts.
Chiefs Bengals. The Chiefs are favored by 5 points here. I love this game. I'm hoping they're going to put it on here in LA. I will be handling some business at the gig, so if they do, I'll just DVR and watch it later. Hopefully, no one ruins the score for me. I love this matchup. I love what Burrow's done on the bounce back this year. Jamar Chase seems legit. Mixon has helped out my fantasy sleeper team a tremendous amount. So I appreciate that, Mr. Mixon. Higgins last week, they have all the weapons there, but here comes Big Red, man. Here comes the Big Red machines. Kelsey's back. Hill has been a question mark. He's been up and down all year long. Some days he's like, okay, there's Tariq, 3 touchdowns, 9 catches, $154, $184, $131. And then last week, 3 catches. 2 weeks before that, 2 catches. I'm trying to figure him out. Running back is back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back. So you have all your weapons there. This is the time of year where Mahomie needs to be Mahomie and show everybody that he is Mahomie, AKA head and shoulders. But I like this spread. But I'm going to go Bengals here. I think the Bengals get this dub, win the division. It doesn't do anything to the Chiefs because they've already wrapped up the AFC West. But I need this game because we might see this game later in the playoffs. And I like when we see games in the playoffs that are not division games that we saw earlier that year. You know what I'm saying? I like when remember they played in week 11, man. It was a good game. Yeah, it gives more juice to it, even if it's a blowout. Because if the team that got their ass kicked, they want to come back and win.
They're gonna come back.
They've been focused all week, man. They've been focused all week. The team that beat them by 30, you might have and it's inevitable. You got 10 guys in there, man, that it's not paying attention to film study. They're not working out hard that week. They might have had a burger and fries on Wednesday night because they thinking, yeah, we beat this squad. It's human nature. So you got 10 of those guys that's going to do that. Now, 5 of them might not play, fine. But that other squad, you better believe all 53 and all 17 on the practice squad, every trainer, coach, assistant coach, GM, front office person, VP, everybody, they're all locked in because they do not want to get their ass beat by 30 again. So it will make for a better game down the road. So I'm going to go. I need an upset special this weekend. And even though I need the Chiefs to play well because I have my homie and I have Hill on my IDP fantasy league on NFL.com, my favorite league I play, my own league every year. I have them. I just need them to play big. But I can see the Bengals winning this game, man. Being that it's at home and you just don't know if all of the Chiefs' weapons are going to show up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this could be a like you said in the in our notes, this is huge matchup here. And the Bengals, they're coming off some hot performances. Joe Mixon showing out, Joe Burrow really showing out too. And it had an absolutely great performance last week, like 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, my homie, the thing is with him is at first he was struggling this year. Lately to me, past couple weeks, even longer, he's been showing he's my homie again. I think it's going to be a close game. And what's the over under a points in this one? Because if you had that near you, because I'd go over easily.
Hold on, I can pull it up for you right now because it's funny. I was just looking at my notes and I'm like, damn, I didn't write the over. I wrote the over under down for everything else except for that game, and I got it for you right here. Over and under now. Ooh, 51. So Vegas thinks this is points. Vegas thinks it's 51. That's both teams over 25. That's 3 touchdowns apiece. That's 6 touchdowns total. It is what Vegas is
24 is 51. 27 24 is 50.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, exactly. But
I'm gonna take the over.
Fireworks, though.
I'm taking the over.
You know what? I think the defenses show up. I think Vegas. I think that's a sucker bet. It feels like a sucker bet because it's okay. So here's the thing. It's only a 5-point spread. So they're thinking 2 field goals wins this game, not a touchdown. That's a difference in yardage. That's a difference in the ball moving because you got to get all the way to the goal line to score. You're just getting out to the 35 and it's a 40 and it's a 52-yard field goal from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think the way I look at that, I think this is a sucker bet to get a lot of people to come in on the over here thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be scores all day. I think both these defenses show up. I think it's going to be cold, windy, could be some inclement weather. Yeah, teams play well there.
It's at Cincinnati, right? Hold on, I'll look at the weather.
Yes, it's in Cincinnati. So, and even the Bengals, even the money line is at 280. So, 100 gets you 280 back. That's not even a big spread, man. That's why I like the Bengals, because I think the home kicker has a better chance at winning the game or putting up points from the field goal side of it more than the road kicker does late in the season on the road with inclement weather.
Yeah. So according to the Google, Cincinnati weather on Sunday is inclement weather, low of 23. There you could see some snow, but during the daytime, if I heard it right, they said 50 degrees. But who knows? Anything, it could be like rainy. Who knows? Like that's still some crazy weather. And inclement weather is going to be crazy. VJ, I'm gonna let you. You're the co-host here for today. I'll pick the next topic, my man.
You know what, brother? Let's go to NFL MVP, because I think I think a lot of people, I think it's more open this year than it's been in the last 10 to 15 years. I think we kind of already knew who's going to win it. I think it's more open this year, but I think the guy that wins it is a guy that's won it before. I don't think it's a new guy this year.
I agree. And first of all, I'm gonna lead you off with this one. Then you could say who's gonna win.
Sure.
Who you think? Because I think we're gonna agree. Jonathan Taylor. Now, if we're talking value, right? If we are talking value to a team, Jonathan Taylor means the world to the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Without Jonathan Taylor, the Colts are nothing. If we're talking value, then he has it. But usually with the MVP, it is rare for a running back to win it. And I just don't see, I can make a case. There's a couple non-quarterbacks I can make a case for. Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor, easy. You can make a case. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, right? If I had to pick a couple of weeks ago, you probably saw us on Twitter because you follow me. I tweeted about Justin Herbert. What he's done is crazy. You can make a case, but every week he kind of plays a little worse. The case is going down. I really think it's going to be, at this point, A-Rod or maybe Tom Brady. That's who I think. A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's missed that game due to COVID. But most of the season, he has been amazing. Packers have been really good. Like the one slump game that comes to my mind is that week 1 game where he just was slumped. He played horrible. And ever since then, he's been pretty solid. While you're talking, I'll pull up the stats of how he is, like his stats this season. While you're talking, I really think it's going to be A-Rod or Tom Brady. What about you?
I'm with you, bro. You and I, great minds think alike. Hey, listen, it could be easy for Jonathan Taylor. 16, 26, 17 touchdowns, 5.5 a total. Was a 4 out of the last 5 games over 100 yards. He only had 16 carries against the Bucks and ended up with 83. But that's the Bucks defense, pretty good against the run. But they didn't give him the carries either, too. When you think about that, and they scored 31 points that game, and it was at home. But Thomas Brady, the GOAT, did what he did. I think it's discount double check of Brady, but Brady doesn't have his weapons, so he's going to have an out-of-body experience these last 2 weeks. And I think that with the schedule left,
I got Aaron Rodgers stats pulled up.
Yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers. Beating them out because you got Detroit to end the year, and I believe they have. I have to see what they have this weekend. I haven't done their game or picked their spread yet.
They have the Vikings.
For the Packers, the Vikings. Oh, that's right. You're right. They have the Vikings. So Vikings, fight for their life. Maybe the Lions want to put up a fight and show that, hey, we want to ruin something for them. Maybe the number 1 seed is on the line with Dallas in that last week. Maybe Dallas loses a couple down the stretch here. Maybe the Rams sneak back up, but they do have the head-to-head over the Rams. So, maybe Detroit wants to ruin something for them, but I think he would have to fall flat. Him and Devontae Adams are just in sync. But I think Scantlins Valdez coming back from COVID helps. Lazard helps. Aaron Jones back helps. He has all his.
And
everybody's kind of
Dylan too.
Yeah. All his weapons are back. So I think Mercedes Lewis was hurt or got on COVID or something. I think he could be out this weekend. But I think with all his weapons back, and I think with the Vikings and the Lions being the last 2 opponents, I think he could kind of.
I think Aaron's going to show out against the Vikings.
He can show out, or not show out, but just show it up, because I think he's the leader now, and I think he could just show it. Tom Brady's goose egg against the Saints hurts. Oh,
that was such a goose egg.
That hurts.
Yep. And now he doesn't have his weapons.
Goose egg. Yeah, Tom Brady's goose egg against the Saints hurts. It hurts his MVP chances. And I just don't. I think those are the three guys. You'd be hard pressed to try to find me a third guy. But running backs normally don't win MVP. The last running back to win an MVP, can you name him without looking it up?
No, actually, Emmitt Smith, maybe?
Adrian
Emmitt
Peterson.
Smith. Whoa, really? What year is that? 2007?
It's the year after the ACL.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It's
wait,
the 2000. It's the 2000-yard year.
12.
He won MVP. Before him, I'll give you the last four running backs.
Right,
Adrian Peterson. Before, and I don't have a list in front of me. This is just football knowledge. Adrian Peterson. Before him, here's a shock. You should know the one before him because you're a fan of his team. Sean Alexander.
I knew that. Now that you bring that up, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he won.
Like I remember it as time, but I remember hearing about it because
before him, our MVP before him at the running back position, Mr. Do Everything, Marshall Faulk.
All right, that makes sense.
Before him in '98, it was a split between Brett Favre and Barry Sanders.
That makes sense.
And then Emmett, Terrell Davis, and then Emmett, and then it goes back. So it's ever since then, it's been quarterback. It's all quarterbacks. It's Manny. The MVPs have been Cam, Manny, Brady, Rodgers. Those have been the MVPs over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Four guys. Oh, I'm sorry,
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes. But quarterback.
And Lamar, right?
Yep, you're right. Lamar. Yep. Him and Cam and Mahomes have stolen each have stolen one. The rest of them have gone to Brady and Manning and Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback. It's a quarterback award.
I agreed. And somebody tried to argue with me on that on Twitter. I'm like, nah, man. Come on. And VJ, you picked a fire topic. I'm gonna let you pick the next one, my man.
Okay.
And do you want me to lead off, or do you want to lead off?
No. I'll lead the topic, and then you can. And then it's your show, but we'll let you go first, though. I love this segment right here, man. This is very simple. Every time, every year, every sport, it doesn't matter. The league, the time of year, there's always three things that every sports fan, journalist, sports talk guy, podcast guy, blogger. I'm showing my age, right? Nobody writes blogs anymore, but blogger.
I was thinking about getting into it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, journalist. Listen, I'm old. I just started my TikTok today because somebody said, listen, you got a lot of funny stuff you post. You got a lot of funny stuff with you and your son. And you got a lot of really cool sports takes and really like stuff that'll go viral. And I'm like, dude, I'm old school, man. I don't want to have to do it. I just want to do it purely, man. And my sister told me, she goes, you need a TikTok. I said, you know what? Fine. I'm going to do one. I told her, I said, this shit don't work. I'm coming after you. I'm coming back for you if this doesn't work, but I'm going to give it.
Okay. TikTok it's hard. Like the algorithms are super random. Like, no, I'm sure no one wants to hear about algorithms, but sometimes like you'll post stuff and it'll just pop off, or sometimes it'll suck. But even so, even if TikTok doesn't work out, man, it's funny to look at. Like you see some funny videos.
I said I'll give it a try. I'm not trying to go viral, man. I just want
you just want your stuff out there.
I just want with the Lord. I want the piece of pie and the sandwich and chips that God's got put on the side for me. That's all I want, man. And because there's a sandwich and plate of chips for everybody. Everybody's got a favorite sandwich. Everybody's got a favorite potato chips. You don't know one person that goes, I don't eat chips. Everybody eats potato chips. I don't care who you are. Everybody eats a sandwich. It could be a vegan sandwich. It could be a vegetarian sandwich. It could be a fat boy sandwich. Everybody has a plate of sandwiches and a plate of chips.
Sub, baby.
Say that again.
It could be a meatball sub, man.
Yeah. Well,
that's underrated. I will say meatball subs underrated in the sandwich game.
Overrated. Overrated. See, I love doing sports talk with you, bro, because we have some really good agreements and disagreements. Two most overrated things in the snack world: lemon pepper wings, meatball subs.
Agreed. Okay, I'll give you that on the lemon pepper wings. My 3 wings. I sometimes with like teriyaki ones, I have to be in the mood for those. But I'm usually a garlic parm. Call me basic. Garlic parm and buffalo. Those are.
Thank you, buffalo. That's because. Let me ask you a question. What are they? What were they originally called? Buffalo wings.
But yeah,
buffalo.
Right? Yeah, and
so
buffalo,
you put the buffalo sauce on them.
Yeah, and the garlic and buffalo's good too. Garlic parmesan's solid also. Like if
I make some bomb garlic. I'm quite the cook. If you go through my IG, you'll see I'm quite the cook. I make some outstanding garlic parmesan wings that will crush. They crush like Wingstops. Wingstop can't mess with me, bro.
Yeah, I got
Wingstop ain't
man,
got nothing. Wingstop ain't got nothing on my, and I air fry them. Ain't got nothing
dude.
on my
Air
garlic.
fry. Okay,
Yes,
Air fryer, best kitchen appliance
ever.
made.
Oh, hold up, because I'm gonna show my age here. No, the best kitchen signature appliance ever made is the George Foreman grill.
Actually, when I was a kid, you bring that up. I remember my dad having one of them things, and we'd cook like hot dogs on it, and I don't remember what else we'd cook, but I vaguely remember he might still have it. I'll ask him. But I remember hot dogs on the George Foreman when I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I used to listen one time a quick George Foreman grill, and I actually did an interview on. Matter of fact, Chris Broussard and I was filling in for Rob Parker. We had
Rob
George Foreman on the
Parker.
show. Yes, we had George Foreman on the show as a guest for about a 10, 12 minute segment. And I got in about 3 or 4 questions. Chris really lets me shine, man. He doesn't try to, now when we talk about LeBron or certain things, he tries to jump in and cut me off before I can really get my good points in. And he swears he never remembers the good stuff and the predictions I make. So I have to always go back and repost them and tag him and go, oh, you don't remember when I told you Ben Simmons and Embiid would not work out before everybody saw it coming like 3 years ago? Like, you don't remember me telling you this? Oh, okay. I see now. But a lot of people said, no. See, don't give me a backhand compliment. Don't say I see and then say a lot of people said, because a lot of people didn't say it. But I was on the show with him, and we were talking to George Foreman, and we talked about the Foreman grill. And I asked him, what was the better investment in your life, the George Foreman grill or boxing? He said the George Foreman grill, because they wanted to give him like $5 million at the time. Now, $5 million is probably like 15 to 20 million today. At that time, just $5 million, here you go, and we get the grill. He said, nope, I'll take the $2 million you offered me on this deal, and I want a percentage of every George Foreman grill you ever sell. He said he never worked again. He never had to work. Yeah, he never had to work again. And one time I was living in Connecticut. It was raining on 4th of July. So I couldn't grill outside, and we didn't have a patio. I made an entire 4th of July barbecue meal
The George
with
Foreman?
leftovers and everything. I'm not talking about just for me. I'm talking about for guests and people with plenty of leftovers, all off of one George Foreman. Took me about 5 hours, but I did it. All off of one George Foreman grill. Yes.
Damn good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We come down the home stretch here. I want to get back into some more sports. I'm sure the off topics will come. I mean,
it's all good, man. We were going surprises, disappointments, and I told you so.
All right. So what should I start with? You want me to go surprises?
It's on you. It's on you, brother. You could pick any of the subject, man. You the captain, man.
All right. I'm gonna go disappointments. My first disappointment. This may be a homer pick, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The Seattle Seahawks. All right. I'm gonna give you my 3 disappointments, or 2 or 3, and then I'll let you go. The thing with the Seattle Seahawks is this. Obviously, I knew we were going to be, okay, maybe a step down. We lost Shaquille Griffin, and we didn't really do too much on the offseason. Like, our best pickup was Gerald Everett. We had some questionable draft choices. I knew we were going to be a step down. I didn't expect it to be this bad. I didn't expect the line to be this bad, and I didn't expect the Seahawks to regress like they did. And I mean, it's just like, okay, what are the Seahawks going to do? I'm personally keep one or the other. I think it's going to be Pete, even though like I don't like Russell as a guy, but I could say he's I like him as a player, right? Because we ain't going to get anyone as close to Russell. But my second point, this one, I didn't, I'm sure. I mean, Urban Meyer, this is like my first year where I've actually kind of gotten into college football. Like I'd watch like the national championship games when I was younger, but Urban Meyer's not the best of dudes. Had some questionable situations go down, but the Jags, they got screwed by like their star rookie running back Travis Etienne going down in the preseason, and like you said, Jacksonville's bad for sports, but no one expected Urban Meyer. And if somebody can find someone who actually predicted this on Twitter, hit me and VJ up. All right. No one expected Urban Meyer to be out midway through the first season. I thought, okay, this got potential for the Jags just because the Jags have a good roster. I'm also disappointed in Trevor Lawrence, right? I'm also like, it's a weird situation there. And I think Urban Meyer really, like, what I honestly think, I said this on my show before, is Urban Meyer's chemistry, like Urban Meyer's behavior And when you pop off on your team like that, they're not going to listen to you, man. I'm sorry. And my other disappointment, and it will come back into the surprises category, so I'll probably just drop it, is the Cleveland Browns. And I'm disappointed in them for it just sucks. And it's not like I'm disappointed in the Browns. It's a disappointment of the season. You can't blame the Browns. They've gotten screwed by health. And I picked the Browns. And this one, I will admit, I was completely wrong. I expected at the beginning, when I first started this podcast, I had the Browns going far. And they didn't. Injuries have screwed that chance over. It's just disappointing to see the Browns, who were really we all, okay, with the moves they made, we all thought they were going to be a solid NFL team, right? Stuff was looking bright for Cleveland, and then injuries came down and slapped them in the face. I'm disappointed because I want to see the Browns do well. What are yours?
All right. So first of all, it's Urban Liar. So make sure you say his name right when you're talking to me.
My bad. Should I put that in the description?
Yeah. Urban
Liar.
Urban
see if anyone falls for it.
He's Urban Liar. So that's one of my I told you so. I told people, first of all, I took the Vegas bet at under 2 years that he'd last in the NFL. I cashed in on that. Didn't even last one. Cleaned up there with a little extra scratch. I told people, man, I've been telling people since Florida. And this is before Ohio State. This is before he had a coach who was domestically abusing his wife, and he knew about it. He knew about it. His wife knew about it.
Or you can call him Urban POS too.
Players knew about it. He's a POS, bro. He's a POS. You go back to Florida. I need, and I don't need to let anybody. I have to stop saying, "Oh, this network needs to let me do it." No. I need to do it my damn self. I'm gonna do the documentary on the Florida Gators, and I'm gonna call it Chomped with the ED on the end. The untold story of Urban's Gators, because you had a lot going on there, and they tried to cover it all up with a Jesus preaching, praying, nicely built, white quarterback by the name of Tim Tebow, who gets chance after chance after chance.
Oh my goodness. Yes, okay. Okay. You're not a Tim Tebow supporter, man.
Oh God, please, man. Listen, great college guy, great winner in college. But there's different ways to win in college, right? We saw Danny Warfel be a winner. We saw Charlie Ward be a winner. Charlie Ward didn't even get drafted. He had to go to the NBA and had a great NBA career. But he had to go to the NBA and play for the Knicks and play for the Rockets. Like, he had to go to the NBA. They didn't even want him. There's different ways in the quarterback position to win. Doesn't mean you translate. This guy kept getting every chance after chance after chance, but you weren't giving everybody else a chance. And then once again, you had a guy with a big platform that was able to pom-pom push for him, and it kind of made everybody go, oh, well, he did throw that pass in Pittsburgh, and he did win, and he was winning a few games here and there, but the NFL, which makes the NFL so great, and what makes football so great, period, is something called film in time. You have more film and more time to study film and more time to take and make adjustments with that film you've studied than any other sport there is. Basketball, you play Monday, you play Wednesday, you play Friday, you get Saturday, Sunday off, but then you play Monday, Tuesday, then maybe you play Thursday. So it's not a lot of time to get a lot of film in, man. You got maybe an hour. Okay, guys, so we got the Kings tonight.
Even worse, baseball, you play like every day.
Yeah, we like to do this and they like to do that, blah, blah. But in the NFL, bro, you get 4 or 5 days in a dark room for hours to watch that route over and over again. Because this time I watch the corner. This time I watch the receiver. This time I watch the tight end. This time I watch the tackle on the side. Like, I'm going down the line and see what each of those guys do. So on Sunday, when I see that formation, my eyes automatically go to my keys of what I study. Boom, I can diagnose this play. That's what happens in football. But anyway, you had a guy, Tim Tebow was able to cover that all up. Another I told you so was the Saints. I love
we're doing disappointments.
Yeah, I love famous Jameis, aka Crab Legs. But I told people Sean Payton and Drew Brees was just a perfect match. I don't think either one of them are super legendary or super iconic as they appear to be made through the media. Brees lost me on his anthem comments, and even when he had a chance to double back and correct it, he said the same dumb thing, which once again, as I said about Colin's comment, there's undertones there that people need to pay attention to. I'm not calling him the R word, but bro, you've been told by your teammates, you've been told by the people what this is about. You came out and said the same thing again. So just kind of tells me who you are and how you are. So I think they work well together, but without each other, it's just, he's horrible on TV. And Sean Payton looks like an average football coach. You can blame the injuries. I loved how the Monday Night Crew kept talking up. Ian Book. Oh, he's such
Oh
a
my
rookie.
God.
Dude, thank you.
Thank-
Within the middle of the first quarter, I looked at my wife and I could tell she thought I was just nitpicking. I'm like, no, don't you see what they do on TV?
I just gotta say,
shout
shout out to Ian Book. Wanna know why? Fantasy. I have the Dolphins defense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian Book. I love you.
25 points, baby.
Yeah.
25 points, 8 sacks, 2 picks, baby. But you can tell the difference in how they talk for a certain shade of quarterback against the other shade quarterback. This guy got, I mean, they just over and over. They even came back from a commercial. Hey, let's show this interception again because I don't want this kid to get blamed for the interception. But you don't do that for other guys. And I just had a problem with that. It just seems like that's what's happening down there in New Orleans. And then my last, I told you so, the bum ass Jets. I call them the bum ass Jets because they're the bum ass Jets. I was going to be the bum ass Jets. I didn't
even think about my list. I said that.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. He's Johnny Manziel 2.0. 2 to 3 years. He'll be out of the league. Too small. Comes from money. Doesn't have that work ethic of that toughness of I'm from nothing, so I got to do everything to be something. There's something to be said for that, guys. It's not for every player, but for a lot of guys, especially when you're undersized, there's something to be said for that. My disappointments: Dolphins, Giants, Broncos. Real quick, my Dolphins start 1-7, self-explanatory. Thought the line was going to be an issue, but I thought the other pieces would be better. Thought the defense would be better. They've been able to right the ship, and I think because Tua's back and Tua wasn't. And listen, during that 1-7 start, he missed 4 of those games because the offensive line got him crushed in the Buffalo game, got him hit blindside on a
broken ribs, right?
Drop and driven into the ground, broke ribs, and he's out 4 or 5 games. The Giants, because I thought with Saquon coming back, Kadarius Toney, you have Elvin Ingram at the tight end, made improvements on the offense, you bring Galladay in, and you have Sterling Shepard there. I'm thinking all those weapons, they got to be better. Plus, they almost won the division last year. Defense plays tough under Matt Rule there. And I just thought that they would just be so much better. And I put $1,000 bet because the line for them to win the division was like a plus 375. So they get you almost $5,000 back if they'd have won the division this year. So I thought that was a smart bet. And I even asked the Fox Sports bet guy. He said, no, VJ, that is a smart bet because a lot of people thought the Giants would be different this year. And it looks like Daniel Jones might not be the guy. And then the Broncos, I picked them as my surprise AFC team to make the playoffs. I tried to hold on to Teddy Bridgewater a little more. It's just starting to look like it's got nothing to do with the injury. We have to stop blaming the injury. It's just starting to look like he's just not an NFL starting quarterback. It's just starting to kind of come around and look like he's not a quarterback. And I think the injury was able to be used as an excuse because it happened at a practice and it was in a time where we thought he was going to take the next step so we could hold on to that. But at the end of the day, man, we have to let that go. And my surprises, once again, my Dolphins, because I thought they would be much better. I had them at 12-5. We could finish at 10-7, but I care about my picks a lot. I really do on my predictions. I hold tight to that. 10-7 is not 12-5. And the Ravens were surprising me because I'm surprised they were able to hold it together this long. With all those injuries and all those guys being out, man, I was super surprised that Lamar Jackson was able, him and Harbaugh, were able to hold this thing together this long. And they still have a chance to win the division. I don't think they do, but those are my surprises. So those are my surprises. Dolphins, Ravens, disappointments. Dolphins, Giants, Broncos, Teddy B. I told you, sir. Urban Liar, Saints, and the bum-ass Jets.
All righty, man. I did my disappointments. I'm going to give you all my surprises real quick. My first surprise is Jonathan Taylor's emergence. Look, I knew Jonathan Taylor was a good player last year. I probably should have wore that different. I meant to say how like crazy the Colts are with Jonathan Taylor. That's my surprise. I had the Colts being good, but honestly, I thought it was gonna be like, okay, I got a question, VJ, before we get into this. Do you remember Marlon Mack? What the hell happened?
Of course. He was gonna be the next in line, but running backs in the NFL, man, it's a short shelf, and you're always looking for the next one.
Especially when you have Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, listen, just really quick, just to backtrack to the Saints. Kamara is on his way out. It's not going to work there. Trust me on this. And they've given him his money. And I know they got some injuries, they got some issues there. But when you put the tape on, I tell people all the time, man, don't fail the eye test. Hashtag don't fail the eye test for VJs on sportsmanlike conduct. Put the tape on and turn the volume off. Put the tape on, put the game on, put the mute on. He doesn't run the same. Same with Zeke. When Zeke got his money, there's not that thirst to get those yards and to lean forward on every run and make the tough business decisions of lowering your shoulder. That affects guys, man. So when you look at Marlon Mack, he was the same type of back, going hard, looking for that contract. But there's always
And then he tore his ACL. That's what really screwed him over.
True, absolutely. But still, guys come back from that. But you're always still looking for the next back because you never know when that ACL is going to tear. You never know when that Achilles is going to pop. You never know when that hamstring or that quad is going to be a reoccurring injury for a while. So they drafted him because they drafted Taylor in the second round because Marlon Mack tore his ACL. But if they didn't tear his ACL, if you have Marlon Mack, I'll ask you as a GM. You have Marlon Mack, no ACL tear, but Jonathan Taylor sitting there in the second round.
Give me JT. I'll trade Marlon Mack.
Thank you. Like he's a Wisconsin back. Name me the last failure Wisconsin running back. You go all the way back to Ron Dane. Name them. You can't. They all come in the league and run for 1,500 yards.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to continue with my surprises here.
Sure.
And, I should have worded that differently. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor is a star running back. He was last year. But the step that this guy took just threw me off guard, man. He easily top 2, maybe even had a D-hen at running back at this point. And my other surprise was the connection and of the Bengals, man. My thing, I've been high on Joe Burrow, got hurt last year, had no offensive line. I was kind of mad at the pick. They didn't pick Penei Sewell, but I was proven wrong. Jamar Chase, right pick. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase is such a good duo, and it seems like their line doesn't have issues. The Bengals have found themselves. When Joe Mixon's healthy, Joe Burrow's healthy, everyone's healthy, that team is good. And that's a surprise. I'll admit I was wrong on that. And my other surprise here is the Philadelphia Eagles, right? We expected them when I did my first couple episodes and I did the division picks where I, go through like the NFC West, NFC South, blase. I did not expect the Eagles to even have this much of a chance, right? You could go back, pull the audio. I was ripping the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's had some questionable games, but there's some times where that guy can rush the ball. The Eagles, maybe they found their scheme with like the running backs, right?
Uh-huh.
And my I told you so's were, obviously I really didn't. My picks are kind of backwards this year, but I did say Aaron Rodgers is he's gonna ball out and prove it in Green Bay. I did say that Tom Brady and the Bucs aren't gonna, they're not gonna lose that much of a step. Now what's happening is what we all feared to happen at the end of the season is injuries.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have Fournette back. Another I told you so. All mine are pretty chop. Are the Rams. I said they were going to be good. I said this Matthew Stafford trade is an upgrade for Jared Goff, and it looks like that is the case. And I told you, so I didn't have this in my notes, but as we're talking through this episode, the Arizona Cardinals, I said that I didn't have the Cardinals, like I had them like 3rd or 4th in the division. But what I told you so about is the second half slump that they seem to have. First half, they're good, but second half, you have to be skeptical. Can Kyler stay healthy a full season and deliver that full season? Those are my I told you so's. Emmett Douglas, VJ Husky with us, the Big Vanilla Funny here on Blindside Sports, episode 18. Super good show. This is by far my longest episode, VJ.
I'm sorry, man. Listen, I get on.
No, I like this. I like this, man. This is good talking. Hey, you know what the good thing about podcasting is? You can listen to like 40 minutes at a time. Say you're like mowing the yard, right? You can have the video or the audio on for 40 minutes. All right, cool. I finished mowing my yard. A couple hours later, you chilling and you're, doing the dishes. I can finish this podcast. Like that's the beauty of it. So of course I'm down to go long.
I do three, man. I've done 3-4 hour shows by myself. Like I could just talk because there's so much to say on every topic. I told you so, if I could really quick, on my preview show, I started out my opening rant on my preview show, but I thought that this would be one of the most historic and battle of attrition seasons that we would ever see. And that's exactly what it's turned out to be. Who's caught with COVID from week to week. We know injuries are going to happen because it's a collision game. It's not a contact game, guys. It's not a physical game. Football is a collision game. Guys collide. They don't get physical. Basketball games get physical. Basketball games have contact. Football is a collision sport. Bodies collide. Car wrecks, okay? That's what this is. So I thought that this year would be one of the most historic, and it's turned out to be. We talked about the Colts earlier. Huge game this weekend, coming off a couple of huge wins, and Carson has COVID. I mean, come on. You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding me.
Okay, so you know what's funny? I was, we got so much on a tangent. I completely forgot about the Colts Raiders game, and that's something I really want to touch on here.
Okay,
especially with the case of the vid, right, for Carson Wentz. I had this in the notes, and I could be wrong on this. I could be misunderstanding the protocols. Carson Wentz tested positive on Tuesday. If he can clear his symptoms, he might be good for Sunday.
No, he's unvaccinated, so it's 10 days.
But didn't they change it?
Did they just change it again?
I Google it because I'm pretty sure I saw something on Twitter, and I don't want to mislead y'all, but I'm pretty sure. I know the CDC changed it to 5 days, and I know the NFL was in line with that. Maybe they didn't do it.
I'm on NFL.com on my fantasy because the guy I'm playing has him on the bench, and they still have a COVID under his name. They still have a red COVID under his name. Any latest things are okay. So the 30th. Okay, so today activated. Okay, they activated theirs. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah. There's nothing about Wentz does it clear protocol. It's he may play, but if he doesn't clear protocols by Saturday. So Saturday. So he's got 2 days.
Okay, yes, that makes that's a little worrisome, and the 5-day thing. Then it's obvious what they're trying to do here. They just don't want the vid to ruin the playoffs. That's what I think.
Yeah, they should have thought about this though, man, brother. They should. They listen.
Yeah, winter. If we're talking like medical, winter is always when like everyone gets sick.
Right? I have a lot of different opinions about COVID. Now I won't get into any of them on your show, but what I will say is this. If you know we're still going to catch it, if you know it's still going to go around, then just prepare for that. Just prepare for it. Stop. This whole thing of all these protocols. Like I'm in Los Angeles. And at first, you had to wear a mask. Okay. Then they had a plexiglass every damn where between booths. Now all that shit's gone. And then they wanted you to show a COVID negative test. Fine. That's full. I can go get a test. That ain't nothing. They do the mouth swab now. So they don't stick that damn thing all the way up your nose anymore. All right, fine. Then they wanted you to have a vaccination card. That lasted 4 weeks until businesses started suffering because you got people that's just not going to go get it. So now you're losing money. As soon as that money started getting affected, whoa. Okay, we got to. The NBA, the same thing. You mentioned Kyrie just briefly earlier. I call him Afro Reed because he was rocking the Afro, and I felt like he was in his blackness, and I ride with that because I'm an African-American man. But I love the way he stood his ground. And as soon as too many players started going out, the NBA said, "Oh, whoa, hold on, whoa, let's check this here. Let's revisit this whole COVID protocol thing we got going on." Because we can't lose this money. Coca-Cola's paid, McDonald's is paid, Nike's already paid, General Insurance commercials. We got Elon Musk and Tesla commercials, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota trucks, Chevy truck. We got a lot of sponsorship money already on the table. Right, exactly. Y'all should have thought of all of that before. Canceling bowl games 4 hours before kickoff? Are you kidding me? 4 hours before. Okay, so parents.
I gotta say this. Imagine being, like I'll put this in. Imagine being like a kid, right? Your parents get you this trip to go see the San Diego Holiday Bowl. You're diehard, either UCLA or NC State fan. Y'all go there. Y'all are probably tailgating or going to the stadium. You get that dreaded ESPN notification. That game's been canceled. I just feel for those families, man.
Dude, and that's what I was
feel for the players, families, coaches. Security.
That's what I was just saying. Grandparents in hotels, mom, dads in hotels, little brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, nephews, friends, best friends from the hood, best friends from the suburb. The guy that you went to high school with, and his parents flew out to see, or the people that you know in San Diego. You know what I'm saying? That you've been friends with over the years. They're going to. It's so much that you almost had to just say, okay, you either have to play this game, or we're gonna fine you guys $10 million. You either play this game or we're fining the UCLA football department $10 million. Wow. There's no way in hell that you guys can go and say, we can't play because we had a breakout. So you mean UCLA? In one of my calls, I was supposed to call the game for Cal Poly. A friend was going to hook it up for me. Shout out to my man, Chris Sylvester, who actually got me into TV broadcasting. Cal Poly on the 22nd. Canceled. Women's basketball, canceled. Women's volleyball and gymnastics, canceled. So that was before the other day. That was a week ago. So you know you already had a breakout. Basketball team was supposed to go to Vegas, play my Tar Heels, canceled. So you let everybody still fly to San Diego and still set up for this game, and you're going to say you can't play it? Are you kidding me? My point I'm making is it's got to stop. And I know a lot of the big guys on TV are protecting their paychecks and don't want to say it because people are going to think, oh, well, he doesn't care about COVID. Listen, if you don't know me by now, then I don't feel like I need to prove myself to you. If you haven't been following me long enough. But what I'm saying is you can't keep doing this. You cannot keep canceling. You're not canceling NFL games. You're not canceling NBA games. You're not canceling NHL games. Oh, really? But you're canceling bowl games? You're canceling college games?
High school
Stop
sports.
It. Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
So back onto the Raiders Colts. And VJ, you're the guy with the lines here. With the Carson Wentz situation, what does Vegas have to say? I'm curious about this because obviously the Raiders, they've also had a second half slump. And if Carson Wentz doesn't clear the vid protocols, right? If he doesn't do that by Saturday, you're starting Sam Ellinger, right? Is that
Who I love. I like that
and
kid, man.
Never started a game, but I'm not too worried because when the Colts were,
he didn't start one earlier this year. I thought he started one earlier this year.
I thought you might be right, but what
yeah,
I remember,
he started one earlier this year.
I remember what probably throw me off was it was week 2 against the Rams, I believe, actually. And Carson Wentz, he tweaked his ankles. And
okay, maybe he got put in the game. Okay, all right, you're right. Yeah. Maybe he got put into the game.
Yeah, but okay. My thing is this: you got the Raiders. This is gonna be a good game. I'm super high on the Colts. If anyone here is listening and they've listened to me for like a decent bit now, I'm pretty high on the Colts. What the Colts need to do, the only way they're winning if Jonathan Taylor has a good game, which is expected, right? Let's be real. If you can tire out that defense with Jonathan Taylor eating you up, Sam Ellinger, he can afford a pick or two. But if it comes at a bad time, obviously. But Jonathan Taylor, he needs to go off, and I'm confident he will. I have the Colts winning that one. And what are the Vegas odds? And what are your thoughts on that?
Vegas got a 6.5, so they think the Colts are a touchdown better. Over and under is 44.5. So I think that's
I'm actually gonna take the under in the points.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under in the points because Raiders can't score. Just looking like their last 3 or 4 games, they haven't been able to score since.
And that's another thing too. Why the Colts winning, even if Sam Ellinger is their quarterback, is like you said, the Raiders can't produce much on offense.
Yeah, they can't score, and their last big output was against a very vaunted Dallas Cowboy defense that capitalizes on turnovers. I'm not sure how great they are. I do know they get turnovers and they capitalize on them. They take a lot of them back for touchdowns. And they have a guy that's got 11 interceptions. So,
Trayvon Diggs, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Alabama, man. They keep putting them out of there.
Produces some.
They keep producing them there. So I like the spread. I think the Raiders. I just don't think they have enough. This has been a long year for them. We don't need to rehash everything that's happened in Vegas. I like the Colts even with Sam Ellinger.
Henry Ruggs. Definitely a tough year.
No, it's been a super tough year. And I was a year late. But I thought they would move on from Carr last year. And I thought Gruden said all the right things because all the Raider fans were like, dude, you're wrong. Gruden loves him. Mike Mayock loves him. I'm like, yeah, they have to say that. They don't want to crush his confidence or create any type of animosity. But I do believe that they think, okay, we've topped out with this kid. I look at him and I go, I think you've topped out with him. Is he a bad quarterback? No. But I think you've gotten as far as you're going to get with Carr as your quarterback. I really do, regardless of what you add and bring in. But now you need a new head coach. Mike Mayock could be out as the GM. So there's a lot going on there that's happened this year. We know about Ruggs and stuff. And they faced a lot of injuries. Waller's missed the last 2-3 games.
I thought it was longer than that, man. I thought like week 12. Week 12, right?
Yeah, week 12. Third and Renfro is the best you got going right now. So I like the Colts to cover. Now, Sam Ellinger, maybe it could be close. But this over and under, I feel like if Sam Ellinger is playing, I'm not sure if they can score a lot, and the Raiders can't score. So, I mean, even 20-17, even 20, 21-20, a close game. Still,
I think it's gonna be close. Yeah.
Yeah, it brings me under.
It's definitely under
24.5. So Vegas thinks they're a touchdown better, and that's still with Carson out, listed as out with COVID. The line hasn't moved at all. So I'll say the Raiders are done. They
Agreed.
fought hard enough. They fought hard, man, but they showed what they are in that Kansas City game. You're gonna come stand out on the emblem. You're gonna come stand out on the logo. You better be ready to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the Raiders Colts. That's gonna be a close game, low scoring, like you said. And I think this could be our last topic for today. Super good episode. We have to do it. I'm gonna lead this one, and I'm because your stories could be way better than mine. Because I'm a younger guy, but John Madden passed away at 85 years old, right after his John Madden documentary. I was thinking, right? He is one of the most successful sport figures, right, we've ever seen. Probably the most. All right, coaching, super good coach, never had a winning season or a losing season. My bad. Commentators, one of the best commentators. Then he created this Madden video game, and the Madden video game popped off. I'm a huge Madden fan. I've been playing that since I was like 5 years old. Madden 08, Madden 09. My first memory of John Madden was when I was playing like the old games on the PS2. If you guys are gamers, PS2. I think it was Madden 08. And John Madden was the commentator. Is Al Michaels and John Madden. Al Michaels are the better commentators, I think. And John Madden, he just done so much for the game of football. He's made football what it is in this country. And it's not even the coaching. Like the coaching, it tends to get underlooked. He's a great coach. It's that commentating and it's that video game. Because video games now, most kids play video games. You play video games. Even a lot of like adults like your age play video games. So rest in peace, man. He was one of the all-time, pioneers of the NFL. Without John Madden, I think the NFL would be much different. VJ, take this one away, man. I know you have a story.
Man, John Madden, man. Just really cool tidbit. It's not a story, but a tidbit. My first ever broadcasting job came at, as far as calling a game live in college football, came at Cal Poly University, San Luis Obispo, where John Madden went and played offense and defense and also played catcher on the baseball team. And it's the first place he ever called a game. So I have that connection, man. I call myself, when I'm commentating games, I call myself the Big Vanilla Madden. I'm the Big Vanilla Madden, man. I break games down. I break down. I'm Tony Romo, baby. I can tell you what's going to happen before the play. It's all on wax. And anybody wants to go to my archives and look, you'll hear me calling games and seeing, hey, screenplay coming right here. Hey, they want one-on-one at that receiver at the top. If they want one-on-one, safeties to the opposite hash. It's wide open. And they'll go to, I just had that in me. I go back to Madden video game-wise when it was called John Madden Monday Night Football and it was just on PC. It wasn't on a home game system yet. The first Madden on a home game system came out on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. At that time, the only game system that was out that everybody had was Nintendo. So Nintendo didn't have Madden. Nintendo had 10-Yard Fight, was the football game of choice that everybody had to play on, and Tecmo Ball and Super Tecmo Ball. Those were your football games. And I still to this day have Tecmo Ball, Super Tecmo Ball in my home right now, and I'll choose the Miami Dolphins and I'll go through a whole season and try to get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl with all the old players on it. So I still play it to this day. Wow. So my first video game Madden experience was Madden 92. Got you by about 17 years there. Madden 92 on Super Nintendo. And
how old were you? Like 14 at the time?
Say it again.
You were 14 at the time for that?
Yes, I was 14. No. I was 15.
All right.
I was 15 when Madden came out because I got it for Christmas that year. Christmas of 92. I was a freshman in high school. My freshman year in high school, I turned 15 in September. My birthday's in September. Because I remember turning 16 my sophomore year when I was a private military academy in high school playing football. So my first memory is that Christmas, Madden 92, Super Nintendo. First team I ever used was the 72 Dolphins. I saw they had the old teams on there, man. And my stepdad, Glenn Thomas, told me about Larry Zonka and Jim Kick and Brian and Bob Greasy, man. And I used to whoop guys' asses with those 72 and 85 Bears anytime I want to really just shut your offense down. But it was the first game where they had snow. You can see the footprints of the snow. Like you can see the footprints the snow actually falling, and then it would stop snowing as the game went on. It's just, it was the first game that really just opened up the football world to people who weren't even real football fans, but just as you said, like video games. And for his success, and I said this to a football friend of mine yesterday, you'd be hard pressed to find another human being that gave as much to one sport as Madden gave to football. That's basketball. Marv Albert, right? He would probably be your commentator, but Marv Albert didn't coach, and he doesn't have an NBA championship. Mm-hmm. John Madden coaching has a Super Bowl. And if you go back, and I looked this up yesterday, and Madden took the Raiders to four straight AFC championship games. Lost to the Dolphins, lost to the Steelers back-to-back years, right? I mean, he was right on the cusp of taking his team back to the Super Bowls again. So it went up and down. He was successful for a long time. And then you put him in the booth at CBS with Summerall, and then everybody at CBS was released and became a free agent. The NFL got to deal with Fox. Fox outbid everybody, brings him and Summerall over there, and the rest is even history. Called his last game in 2009 for NBC with Al Michaels. It was the Super Bowl with the Steelers and the Cardinals. But success, I don't even think speaks, man. I just think it's an icon, a legend. And here's the real creepy kind of spiritual way I'll end this on. We give our flowers to our icons of life way too late. Muhammad Ali, Nelson Mandela, Kobe Bryant, you could Bruce Lee, you could go on and on, man. We give our flowers to the icons and the legends of life, not sports, life, way too late. This past Christmas was the Madden special, where the documentary was on and everybody watched, and he saw that. And then real talk, 4 days later, passes away quietly. Almost as if he was just waiting for it. He was waiting to get his flowers. And when he got that, I bet you, I don't know if he said it to anybody verbally, but I guarantee you at one point he leaned back in his recliner and let out a nice exhale and probably told the Lord, I'm ready now. You can send the angels for me whenever you're ready. It's enough to make you emotional, man, because that's what life is about. It's not about your money. It's not about your possessions. And I had to learn that and grow out of that. It's about the impact you leave on people. Even doing your illustrious show today, when I learned about you and I did my research on you, bro, it made me want to do your show more because I want to impact that young 17-year-old kid. I want that young 17-year-old kid 15 years from now, when you're on a major network doing your thing, bro. And I want you, when a young person comes and says something to you, how'd you get started? How'd you reach out? And when you mentioned Rob G, and you mentioned Chris Broussard, and you mentioned Rob Parker, and you mentioned all these other guys that have really helped you along the way. I would love for the name VJ to be, and I had this guy named VJ, man. He, this guy, and it's not for a brag. It's just that's the impact I want to leave, not on you, all the young people I help. And that's what Madden did. Madden left an impact on people that will last a lifetime. So whether it's video, whether it's him calling games, whatever it is, he left the impact. And I think that's what you want out of life. That to me means success.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this interview or this show. On this. First of all, VJ, thanks for spending some time co-hosting. This is super fun. Yes, sir. Super fun. But I want to say, about you, and you were one of the guys, and I was gonna do is get in more of your story, and you were the one who volunteered to co-host, and I'm like, perfect, right? You and because the reason I did it, right? This is on camera. I want to be sports, like obviously. And I was like, okay, maybe I should have this guy in. I know he has some wild takes, some good takes. We're gonna agree, but we're gonna disagree. I'm gonna have you on, and it's gonna, open a sports debate and get me ready for a 3-hour radio show. Get me ready for a long show because we've been going 320, 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours, man. Yeah.
No commercials.
Yeah, no.
With commercials, this will probably be what, 3, 4, maybe even 5-hour show. Yeah.
3-hour show. Think about it like this. Emmett. If Fox called you right now and said, "Can you fill in?" Bro, that's 4 hours of your time because you got to get there 30 minutes, or I always get there 30 minutes early.
And you got to at least 4 hours.
It's from 4 to 7. So when I do the odd couple, it's from 4 to 7. when I do Arnie Spanier and Torres, when I fill in for Aaron Torres with Arnie Spanier, it's Saturday night
Love
and
Arnie.
it's from like 8 to 11, right? So, and if I do with Brian, no, it's on a Saturday from 1 to
4 to 7
4 or from like 4 to 7 or something like that Saturday. So I always get there about 30, 45 minutes earlier because I talk with Rob G or I talk with my man with Dap, with Lee Dap over there. So hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? What are we talking about today? VJ, all right, they know I'm good. They know when I come in, they know I'm prepared. The one thing they know is like VJ's not coming in blind. VJ already, because I'm texting them that morning. Trust me, ask them, they'll tell you, yeah, he bothers. Yeah, I'll bother you. I need the topics, bro. I don't want to show up and half-ass this. I want to show up and have the listeners go, hey, guys, you guys need to bring that VJ guy back. Prepared, entertaining, stutter. Like, no, every topic, everything that comes up, even if we have to take a sharp left or a sharp right turn, my mind works fast. I can get it done. So if they call you, that's 4 hours, dog. So you have to be prepared to have yourself a professional sports talk mind for 4 hours. One piece of advice I will leave with you. You're really good at this. Emmett, you could carry your own show up to time, bro. 30 minutes an hour, that's fine. And yes, don't listen to people. Oh, well, people don't have an attention span. What do you think when you go to a grocery store? The best analogy I love to use is when you go to a grocery store and you go down the bread aisle. The most simple aisle in the grocery store, the aisle everybody walks down because there's your rolls, your cupcakes, your muffins. On the left side is all the chips and cookies and crackers, even the healthy stuff, but it's all in one aisle. Could you imagine if a bread company said, well, we don't need a bread. There's already Wonder and Sunbeam and Kroger and Jake's bread. And no, they said, no, we're going to make our bread. We're going to target our audience and we're going to sell bread. There's a new bread company every week. So people go, but the market's saturated. So don't listen to,
or there's a new chicken sandwich every week.
Yeah, don't listen to, people have a short attention span. That's a negative way of trying to knock down what you can be and what you can become. When I tell people I do 3 and 4 hour shows, they never go, oh, that's too long. You know what they always say? They go, wow. You do how long?
That to me, and I do an hour show.
yeah, exactly.
And, right. I'm trying. Look, man. What my goal is I want to, prep way harder, get the show longer than an hour, because, the thing with sports radio is, for me, I like to hear the sports, but when you listen to a radio or a podcast, it's nice when they go off topic. Like, I'm sure people enjoyed our chicken wing rant earlier. What was the other one? The homeless people rant.
Loves chicken wings.
If you don't like chicken wings, man, I'm sorry. We got issues. But is that all you got to say, man?
I mean, listen, bro, I thank you for having me on, man. You have a bright young future. Like I told you the other day, when I found out how old you were, and I don't live with regret, and I don't live with things of that nature, but if I started doing this when I was your age, I'd be bigger than Stephen A. Smith, and would nobody in the industry be able to touch me, because I know how good I am, and that's not an ego thing. That's keep your confidence. Don't let people try to tell you to be humble. That's a fake word. You better be confident in what you do and how you handle your business and life. And you got a bright future. You're already connected to the right people. Keep networking. Stay who you are. Toe the line, because that's how we just got to live life sometime. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you have a great show, man. And thanks for having me, dog. And listen, anytime you want to talk, baby, I'm here, man. If I'm off and I can get away from the kids for a couple of hours, they already know when daddy closes the back office door, it's at least 4 or 5 hours I'm away, because I got some things. I got another show to do today, and I got another show to do in the morning.
Wow, good luck, man. VJ, it was super fun having you. I'm gonna do my outro here and then leave meetings. So file, does its thing. Thanks to everyone for watching. Follow all of us on social media. I'll have everything down in the description, or like the podcast about section. Go check out VJ's show if you like his content. Stay tuned to Fox Sports Radio for when he's filling in. Like, check the Twitter, because he does good work over there. Super fun show. Got to do this again, VJ. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Like this podcast, subscribe, download, share with your friends. Do whatever you gotta do. Word of mouth advertising is the best. Peace out.